now, takes advantage of a slip from Pete. Brooksby towards the edge of the area, cuts in field, takes a shot from distance. Wade Brooksby with the left boot. It's the bottom right hand corner. And the former Feaheny now gets back to hold the side that he won't play for.
Good afternoon and welcome here to Guiseley AFC Radio. It's a bit like waiting for buses here, home games that you wait for ages to get one and then two come along at once, and two have been against very, very tough opponents. It was a great result on Tuesday night as the Lions racked up a 3-1 victory against favourites AFC Fylde for this division, and again today we have to face a team right at the top of the table, Hednesford Town, who've been in superb form recently, only lost to Barrow in 2015, won 3 of their last 4. They're having a bit of a crisis, an injury crisis of their own, which could work in our favour, but Guiseley again know this is going to be a very tough afternoon for them. We're here live on Guiseley AFC Radio, and we're going to be bringing you full live match commentary with Colin, Robertson and Tom Feaheny.
Balls into the area, Guiseley have another chance here. Alex Johnson! Oh my word! He turned the defence and has made it Guiseley 6, 12 and 1.
Well, thank you for joining us here on Guiseley AFC Radio. It's another big afternoon of football here at Nethermoor Park as the Lions take on the Pitmen. It's Hednesford Town who travel up north to take us here at Nethermoor for a very important Vanarama Conference North game. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me this afternoon, delighted to have the expertise and the tones of Tom Feaheny once again.
Good afternoon.
Tom, this is going to be a really big afternoon again in the direction of this season. What a result it was on Tuesday night, but you know, if we don't get the 3 points again, or if we don't get at least I'd say a point out of this game, it'll all prove for naught, won't it?
Yeah, fantastic performance on Tuesday night, but yeah, you know, it's just the way the fixture list has gone that we've got 2 really important home games, one after another. We've got to aim to get 6 points out of them. I feel that it is a case that they're a very good side we're facing today. But we've got to aim for the 3 points, and if we can, we've kept the consistency with the squad, put in a good performance. A performance like Tuesday, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be another 3 points for the Lions. Well,
it was a great performance on Tuesday night against AFC Fylde. Let's just relive all that action once again.
Danny Hall is up, he goes past him, and guys, you've got a penalty, and Danny Hall was pushed in the back there just as he went to make a connection with the header. The referee has brought a card out, and there is a yellow card for the perpetrator, and a Guiseley penalty, and that's come from nothing. 33 minutes gone in this game, still 0-0 at the moment. Gavin Rothery up against Ben Hinchcliffe. Rothery steps forward, takes a run up, blasts the ball, slots it into the back of the nets. The Lions have the lead. It's Guiseley 1, Fylde 0.
What a cool penalty that was. Fantastic penalty. Made sure that he knew which way the keeper was going, Gavin, then just strokes it home into the back of the net. And in a game where you've got to say the away side, when they've got the ball, they've looked so calm with it. It's a moment of madness which gives Guiseley the lead. That penalty, Guiseley take the lead, and now can we move on?
And they've got a free kick now, about 5 yards in from the centre circle inside the Fylde half. A chance here for Ryan Toulson to distribute. He's got 3 to aim for on the edge of the 18-yard box in particular. One of them is Dickinson. He gets the nod on. It's picked up. And a terrible own goal from both perspectives, but a wonderful one from Guiseley's. An own goal from Joe Moog, who just headed it over the goalkeeper. And would you believe it, the Lions are now 2-0 to the good here. A floated in free kick, nodded on by Liam Dickinson. Joe Booth nodded it over the goalkeeper and into his own net, and after 50 54 minutes gone. It's Guiseley 2, Fylde 0.
Well, the ball's flicked into the area and Dickinson does all he can. He just flicks it up into the air. He can't get it on target and it just seems to cause complete panic in the defence. Joe Booth, he's trying to get it back to his goalkeeper, but it's looped over him. Goalkeeper, no chance. 2-0 Guiseley. We've got lucky there.
Guiseley now sitting very deep for a moment. Adam Boyes wins the ball though, snaps it off the heels of Brad Barnes and almost finds the return pass from Liam Dickinson. Dickinson now on the ball, plays it to the right hand side, picked up here by Wayne Brooksby. That was a timely challenge from Adam Boyes, a really important one. Brooksby now on the edge of the 18-yard box, comes charging in, plays the ball across the face, goal, put into the back of the net, and it's Adam Boyes who has got Guiseley's third. Lions are in dreamland this evening. Guiseley 3, Fylde 0. Sumner gets the ball back. Cross with the left foot into the area. It's missed everyone and eventually goes back all the way across to Gavin Rothery. His clearance only hits Casper Hughes. Hughes crosses into the area again, flicked on by Rowe and into the back of the net. A good header. Casper Hughes' cross. Stephen Dredge surged across the face of the goal to try and palm it wide, but he couldn't keep it out.
What an evening it's been for the Lions. 3 goals to 1 against Fylde.
Who could have gone back to the top of the table with games in hand had they won tonight. As it was, goals in the first half from Gavin Rothery from the penalty spot on 33, an own goal from Joe Booth in the second, and then a third from Adam Boyes gave Guiseley 3 goals. The one back from prolific striker Danny Rowe, who headed home late on in the game, was not enough really to threaten the Lions. It's finished here, Guiseley 3, Fylde 1, and a superb evening.
Well, there you go, Tom, and it was a fantastic night, wasn't it, on Tuesday night? We really enjoyed that performance.
Oh, it's brought a tear to my eye. What a great night that was. Let's hope for more of the same today.
And that's the key thing, though, isn't it? We've got to continue in the same vein and set about that game with the same level of performance today as we showed on Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you look at the challenge compared to Tuesday and today, they're very similar. 2 very good sides, both doing very well in the table, both with good squads, very consistent squads as well, where you've got 11 players who are basically picked week in, week out. And yeah, guys, they've just got to put in that same level of performance, that same level of commitment. If they can do that, they've got a really good chance of getting the 3 points again today.
Well, Mark Bauer spoke to me after the game against Fylde on Tuesday night, and he's obviously delighted with the performance. I'm joined now by Mark Bauer after the 3-1 victory over Fylde. Mark, you want a reaction after the Boston game? You certainly got it tonight.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. You know, the lads have been really frustrated with not being able to get out and get that one out of the system, so to speak. And yeah, I think, you know, you could tell tonight that they were really keen to get out there and keen to put that one to bed and put in a really good, strong, disciplined performance. You know, we didn't set the world on fire, but you know, we're playing the side that are odds-on favourite to win this league, and we've done a good job and got a really good win.
How important was the introduction of Liam Dickinson to tonight's performance and the return of Adam Boyes?
Yeah, we had a few back really. Danny Hall coming back from his loan spell as well. I thought the front 2 linked up really well. Dicko and Boise, not just in possession but out of possession as well. You know, they did what we asked them to do in terms of stopping them playing and restricting how they could play against us. So that worked really well. Boise gets his Predators type goal, and Dicko were a real focal point for us, and you know, won a lot of aerial battles. He got hold of the ball for us and linked the play up really well. So yeah, pleasing really. Danny Hall coming back in as well, slotting alongside Danny Ellis. They looked solid and strong back there. Just the last 15 minutes, maybe the lack of game time that we had over the last few weeks, you could just tell in the lads' legs it was you know, just struggling to see it through. But you know, the game will have done everyone a world of good. There's no substitute for match fitness, and we've got through tonight, and it's a massive 3 points for us.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, after the Boston game, we sort of felt that it was a playoff routine, a playoff situation for us this season. It was very despondent. Does that change the perspective in your mind at all after tonight's result?
I think we've just got to concentrate on ourselves and just picking up wins at the moment. I think there's been too much worrying about what other teams do and, you know, who's done this and who's done that. We concentrate on ourselves. We've got a lot of games coming up, and we've seen what can happen when you build up that momentum and head of steam. You know, you can pick up a lot of points and make a move quite quickly. So all the focus is on Saturday in Hednesford now. Look forward to that game. But yeah, going back to the Boston one, you watch it back, and 5-1 was quite a harsh scoreline on us. So it's been difficult for the lads. It's been a really frustrating place to be, and so desperate to get out and put it right. And yeah, pleased for everyone really concerned that we've managed to go out and do that, and do it, quite a headline-making kind of way against the team that have been the best side in the league really so far this year.
So, like you say, it's a tough period of games. This Hednesford again, another promotion-chasing side themselves on Saturday. You look forward to that one. It's going to be another tough game.
Yeah, it's funny how the fixtures work. We've that's the top three that we've played them all home and away now. The bottom three have only played one game against, out of the 6 fixtures against them. So we've not got many games left against the teams that are up there in and around us. So we've got to make sure that we capitalise on taking points off teams that we're going to be challenging with, because we won't have that opportunity later on. So Hednesford they had a few injuries early on this season and struggled to get going, but they've come got players back, and they've been on a really good run recently, and they've pulled themselves right up into it again. So it'll be very difficult. It always is against Hednesford. I've never beaten them as a manager. We've had a few experiences down there, but no, the lads should be going into it with confidence, and that belief that we can win games and get another run going again.
That's Matt Bauer there speaking to me after the game against Fylde on Tuesday night. And Tom, he's said, we just need to focus our own attentions on what we do on the field and go again on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the case where some teams have got games in hand on us, we've got games in hand on other sides, and just the case you've just got to do your own thing, because look at some of the teams above us and the points that they've got, it would scare you. And then you look at the fact that we're only a couple of points away from being out of the playoffs, but we have got games in hand. So it's a case, we get the results, we'll be fine, and just let's ignore what everyone else is doing for now.
Well, Tom caught up with Liam Dickinson, the man of the moment it was, or so it seemed on Tuesday night. Spoke to him after the game.
Tom Feaheny with Guiseley's brand new signing, Liam Dickinson, after the 3-1 victory over AFC Fylde. First of all, Liam, fantastic result.
Yeah, brilliant result. We always knew it's going to be a tough game. Fylde were up there for a reason, and I think today it was about proving ourselves, but proving to the fans, proving to ourselves that we're just as good, if not better, and we deserve to be up where we are.
In terms of your performance, it was a case that you and Adam Boys, you worked really well together. And you must be really pleased with the way you linked up, especially with Wayne Brooksby as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's short notice. I came in last Thursday. I've only had 2 training sessions with the lads, but I think we had that understanding early doors. I think we worked well together, on and off the ball, positioning wise, communication. I think we worked well as a pair, as well as working together as a unit.
And next up it is Hednesford, another tough game against another side that is aiming to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, what better time to play them when we're on a roll like this? We've just beat what are meant to be the favourites to win the league, and we've just turned them over. So we're looking forward to the games up and coming. There's a lot of them to come. We've got a few games in hand, so it's in at the balls in our court, and we've got a great opportunity now to kick on.
Just in terms of your move, when did you first find out it could happen?
Literally last week. Keith Briggs, the manager at Stalybridge, gave me a ring and just said, basically, Guiseley have come in for you. I was quite surprised because Stalybridge is short of players at the moment, and I was surprised that the manager there had given me permission to speak to Guiseley. But it was a no-brainer for me. A lot of respect for Keith Briggs, everyone at Stalybridge, but looking to come to Guiseley was a positive move for me.
And in terms of coming to Guiseley, you've got to know the players now, but were there any that you knew already?
Yeah, I knew a few of the boys, from past playing with Bosch at Stockport County, played with Andy Oldsworth at Huddersfield and Parks at Leeds, so I knew a few of the boys. Drencher I grew up with, he's from my area, so I come in not knowing a few of the boys, and they've all the rest of them that I didn't know made me welcome. So yeah, brilliant bunch of lads.
And what is your aim while you're here? Is it just to get plenty of game time and help the side to get promoted, hopefully?
Yeah, number one for me is obviously to get promotion. We're in a great position. Like I say, we've got games in hand over teams around us, and after a performance like that tonight, we can beat anyone in the league. And my main aim is to get promotion out of this league. Games, I've been playing every game I've played this season. When I've been available, I've played 90 minutes, so it's not a fitness thing for me. I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling sharp, and like I say, for me, the main priority is promotion.
Obviously, you know the area as well because you played for Leeds for a couple of games on loan. What did you think of your time there?
Yeah, I loved it. You know, he's not going to. It's a scary place, Leeds. If you're having a bad game, the fans are on your case. If you're having a great game, they love you. It's an amazing atmosphere. You know, the atmosphere is better than most of the Premiership games, and you know, it was a privilege to play there. But you know, that was in the past, and I'm looking towards to kick on in the future with guys. You know.
And in terms of the move, you've gone from a club that were fighting nearer the bottom of the table to now being at a side that are very much aiming for promotion. Have you found a difference already?
Not really. I think there's more of a buzz around the camp, which is obvious because when you're up there, you know, everyone's happy, everyone wants to be playing, and you know, no one wants to be in a relegation battle. And I've been in a couple myself, and I've been in promotion fights, and you know, I think your mentality doesn't change. You need to put 110% into every game, but obviously when you're up there at the top and the games are coming and you're playing like we play tonight, and we're beating teams that are expected to go up, you know, you just want more and more games to come.
Well, that was Liam Dickinson speaking to Tom Feaheny after Tuesday night's win against AFC Fylde. And the two teams are about to get out. We're going to hear from Ben Parker as well before kick-off. But first, just go through those starting 11s for the two sides. First of all, the visitors' day today. They line up with Dan Crane in goal, James Hurst, Glenn Walker, Ben Bailey the captain, Paul McCone, Tom Thorley, Adam Thomas, Lloyd Kerry, Marvin Robinson, Steve Diggin and Andy Todd. And on the bench they've only got three: Alex Melbourne, Nick Rushton and Chris Westwood, perhaps to really emphasise the fact that they've been struggling with getting players available and fit. Stephen Drench in goal, Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Danny Hall, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Liam Dickinson and Gavin Rothery. So an unchanged side from that beat AFC Fylde midweek. Andy Holdsworth, Alex Johnson, Jordan Hendry and Nicky Boschel are on the bench, and Stephen Dickinson substitute goalkeeper. So as promised, let's quickly hear from the interview that Tom did midweek, speaking to Guiseley man and former Leeds man Ben Parker.
Tom Feaheny with Ben Parker, and we are a couple of days away from the next game against Hednesford, but I've got to first of all ask Ben, you're still injured. How long until you'll be ready to play again?
I'm not too sure, to be fair, Tom. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought it might have done. Obviously, originally when I did it at Boston, quite a hefty challenge I was involved with, and it jarred my ankle quite back. So I went for the X-ray that night, showed no breaks, which I thought it would do as precaution. But there's still a bit of swelling in around the ankle joint itself, the ligaments. So it's just a case of trying to get that off and hopefully get back fit as soon as possible.
Just how frustrating is it that you're having to watch a little bit of football? Obviously, a lot of the players have missed a lot of football as well due to the postponements, but just how frustrating was it, especially the game against Fylde, that you weren't able to play in that?
Yeah, it was frustrating last night because obviously they're up there for a reason, one of the probably best teams we've played this season, and they're the games you want to play in, top of the table clashes. So last night was quite difficult, and I think it's been difficult for the rest of the lads as well in terms of not having a game, training here and there, coming to games it's not and being called off like last minute, so to speak. So for the lads' point of view, good to actually get out there and get a game under the belt, and no better game to play Fylde, and it showed in the performance that they're playing last night. Just how important was it that we ended the two? It was only 2 matches, but it was a 2-match losing run. Just how important was it to end that nice and early? Yeah, well, it seemed to go on for longer, but due to us not playing for over 2 weeks, so that was the biggest thing. We just wanted to put it out of the system because we all know what happened at Boston. We're put on account ourselves, which didn't justify ourselves at all. We all knew that, and we just wanted to put the wrongs, what happened there, right last night. And I think every man to themselves did that, and deserved the win in the end. Got to talk about the new signing, Liam Dickinson. He did really well last night. He was telling me after the game he knows you, so yeah. What are your thoughts on him? Yeah, when I first heard about that we were interested in signing Dicko, I thought it'd be a great signing for us. It gives us something a bit different to Boise and to AJ and also OJ as well. And it's probably something that we have lacked since my time, so we've been here. It gives us that bit of a presence up front, where say if we're under the cosh, he'll be able to hold it up for us or flick things on and make things difficult. And like I said, from my time that I've played with him when we're both at Leeds, I know he can be a handful, and he proved that last night. So if we can keep him fit, now Boys is back, AJ's fit, get OJ fit. That's a strong strike force for any team in this division, and more than a handful for the centre halves that they'll come up against.
And finally, it's Hednesford next, another side that are aiming to get into the playoffs. Just how important is it that we continue the run, create a bit of momentum as well?
Yeah, exactly. We've seen from teams like for the opponents on Saturday, also Tamworth, what runs of results can do, can propel you straight up the league. But we're just focused on ourselves at the moment. It's pointless looking at other teams because there's still a long way to go, still a lot of points to play for. So we're taking each game as it comes, as the cliche says. And if we apply ourselves right like we did on Tuesday, we have a professional attitude about us, he'll take us far.
Thanks.
Well, that was Tom Feaheny speaking to Ben Parker at a good interview midweek with Ben. His thoughts ahead of this afternoon's game, and the two sides are now out on the field, and we're just a matter of a few moments away from kick-off here. Guiseley taking on Hednesford here at Nethermore in the Vanarama Conference North. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me is Tom Feaheny, bringing you full match commentary throughout here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Don't forget you can tweet us. We like a good tweet at Guiseley Radio, and we'll certainly share your thoughts on the pitch, on the state of affairs. The two sides out now. Guiseley will be kicking off. They're going to be shooting from right to left as we watch them here in the main stand, playing in their white shirts, navy blue shorts and navy blue socks, and the Pitmen in their away kit, which comprises of a sky blue shirt, white shorts and white socks. Guiseley are underway with Danny Ellis lofting a long one forward towards Adam Boys. Just a quick shout out as well to Harvey Westcott, the young mascot who was taking his turn on the pitch before kick-off today. He's been frustrated a couple of times with the recent postponement, so it was great for him to get out there. Guiseley just have conceded a throw inside their own half, just a few yards up from the corner flag, as a rather direct approach from Hednesford has resulted in an opportunity to launch this ball in with Ben Bailey, the captain, from this left-hand side. Tom, early pressure.
Yeah, it is, and they've got a very good long throw on them, and they get a lot of players in the area.
Bailey launches it into the area. It's flicked on. It goes out and behind for a goal kick, but just an early warning sign there. Rob Smith's side beginning to show the threat that they have from throw-ins with a long throw from that left-hand side, Tom, and that's a bit of an early warning, isn't it, of the threat that they can have on that from that position.
Yeah, well, I hate to remind Guiseley fans, but it was a last-minute long throw that caused the equaliser last time round for Hednesford, and I think it's one of them. They know that it's a strength for theirs, and every time that's about a minute in, and they've already got 8 men in the area, and that's one of their strengths, and they'll try and take advantage of it.
Well, guys, he just got the ball into the Hednesford half, and we're going to have another stoppage now. There's a knock on the head, so referee quite rightly calls time on the game for a second, and the man who's down will take a moment or two to receive some treatment. I think it might be Paul. It's not Paul McCone, is it? It's the it is Paul McCone, I think. No, Tom Thorley perhaps, who's down. Can't quite see the players all huddled together. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Tom, did you see a collision of heads or a clash of heads?
Him and Adam Boys have gone for the same ball, and really it's just an innocent little coming together. He's tried to run on, Adam Boys has run on with the ball. He's tried to run after Boys, and you can just tell he just for a second thinks, I'm not feeling right here, and he does the sensible thing, just goes to ground and makes sure the physio comes on, because I think it might be a little, well, something wrong with his head. I'm not sure if there's any blood or anything. I think it's the captain, Ben Bailey, who is down.
Yes.
And it just looks like he's taken a little knock to the head, and he just wants to make sure he's all right, and before he continues playing.
Well, Ben Bailey is one of the great club servants for the Pitmen. He's played more than 200 games for the club, and he's the man who's come through the ranks. He was the youth team captain, so he's a big part of that team, and as we saw earlier on, he has that excellent long throw, and he's just receiving some treatment on the field at the moment. I think he will be okay to continue, but as we were talking when we saw the team sheets, there are only 3 substitutes today for Hednesford, because they have had problems and brought in 2 players midweek, including Lloyd Kerry, who's on the field, and signed Andy Todd from Telford.
Just going to say as well, James Hurst has gone off the field. It looks like he was just receiving a little bit of treatment, so Looks like those two little injuries there, all in one go for Hednesford.
We've only barely got started, and we must have had about 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage. Let's quickly go down some of the scores. In fact, there's been an early goal in the Vanarama Conference North. Stalybridge are trailing at home to Brackley by a 1-0. And in the game that we are following in the Vanarama Conference local sides, Halifax have taken the lead. They're leading 1-0 against Dover. It's an FA Cup blackout here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Match of the day's on tonight, and so I'm afraid we don't update the scores for fear of retribution from our loyal listener who wants to avoid the scores for the main deal in the evening. But we'll keep you up to date with everything else. Happily, it looks to me as if Ben Bailey will be okay. He'll be coming straight back on, and as James Hurst, who, as Tom rightly pointed out, took a knock as well in that build-up, in that same move rather. We've had a question already. OJ, of course, we forgot to really mention this. Nick Sharp asking about how long Ollie Johnson is out for. I'm not quite sure what the situation is there. We'll try and find out from Mark after the game. There's a good flick on meanwhile from Liam Dickinson. Finds Adam Boyes in the penalty area. Tackled, but it's gone behind for a corner. And that's a good bright start there for Guiseley.
Nice positive move there by Guiseley, and yeah, with so much disruption during the opening 5 minutes, it's good to see us get the ball and actually get forward. Got to say with Ollie, I don't think he's fully fit yet.
Ball curls in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, picked up by Dan Crane. And the danger passes. Yes, the Ollie Johnson issue has been one of fitness, hasn't it? He's been struggling with a sort of upper hamstring injury, as far as I understand, and sometimes just an injury that needs a rest. But not on the bench today. Guiseley back in possession of the ball with Danny Ellis. He plays a ball over the top, but nobody's in the right place to receive it.
Just got to say, James Hurst has gone off the field again. It looks like he's just getting a bit of treatment. Maybe something to do with his mouth or something. It might be a little bit of blood, and he's having to go off to get that wiped away. But so that does mean Hednesford for now are down to 10 men.
Guiseley trying to capitalise. Good spot that, Tom. Ball's up here to Liam Dickinson. Back to the defender. Muscles his way past McCone. Holds onto the ball. Plays it out to the left-hand side. Now Gavin Rothery goes down. He's got Danny Lowe on the overlap, but Rothery tries to beat his man and is tackled. And now there's a chance here for Hednesford to counter-attack, and they come forward with Andy Todd, the man who signed from Telford this week. Plays a rather misplaced pass. It goes all the way back to Stephen Drench. And he'll take his time. And then loft this one long up towards Liam Dickinson, who can get the ball. McCone and Dickinson do battle. McCone wins that one this time. The ball back to Dan Crane, and Dan Crane clears. Headed away by Danny Lowe. Good header from Jake Lawler under pressure, but picked up again here by Hednesford. Lloyd Kerry, the low knee, gets a shot away at goal. It's wide and behind for a goal kick.
Well, good determination there by Kerry. A nice little battle as well between Guiseley and Hednesford with the ball in the air. Already, again, just noticing that little partnership between Adam Boyes and Dickinson. Good bit of communication, ball lofted in by Drench, and Dickinson, he held it up well, he put the Hednesford defence under a bit of pressure, and it's positive to see. But Hednesford, they are going to bring a threat. They've got some very good attacking players. Just got to say, Andy Todd, could Kitty have just delayed that deal for a couple of days and helped us out?
Yes, not so sure about that. Marvin Robinson at the moment on the ball. Plays it back to James Hurst, who's got a full bandage wrapped around his jaw and his head. And he gets the ball now it's onto his right foot and slides it into the penalty area, trying to release Marvin Robinson. It's unusual. It's sort of like comic book style bandage around his head that James Hurst has got. Hednesford have won possession back again down this left-hand side. Lloyd Kerry now on the ball, 30 yards from goal, plays it into the edge of the 18-yard box. A little bit of a heavy touch from Steve Diggin, and it's back to Stephen Drench.
I think it's one of them. It's clearly just improvised until half-time when they can properly bandage him up. But yeah, it's covering about half of his face, so... Yeah.
It's a frenetic start at the moment, though. Yeah, I'm sure I'll not want to watch see any of the match photography. But at the moment, guys, you have a throw on the halfway line. And it's going very quick from one end to the other. Hednesford look very lively. A real threat. Guisey now. Play it down the channel. Try to flick on. Oh, try to get Liam Dickinson into the flick on. Danny Ennis tackles Marvin Robertson as the ball goes up to the halfway line again. Hednesford back in possession of the ball. Mark Bauer saying that Hednesford were a bogey side for him, managerially speaking. Not beaten them in his managerial career as yet. A very hard-fought game at Keys Park, which Hednesford got a late equaliser in. They're looking to start more brightly this time. Adam Thomas on the ball, drives it in towards the goal with the left boot. It's blocked well by Danny Lowe. Out here to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby plays it out to Liam Dickinson. Dickinson lays it back to Toulson. Guisey in possession. Boschel and Toulson combine on the halfway line before Toulson goes long. Headed away by Ben Bailey. Flicked on by Jake Lawler though. And eventually the possession is won back, and there's a little bit of a problem again here for I think Ben Bailey, and he's going to need some more treatment. I guess he must have had a knock on the nose or something, and he's bleeding because he doesn't look in pain or anything. He's just going off to perhaps see if they can stem the blood flow before he'll be allowed to rejoin the fray.
Yeah, the referee clearly sees something, blows the whistle and just immediately says, "Can you please get off the field of play?" So so it must have been 2 minutes in, and two Hednesford players have already drawn blood. So it's been a bit of a weird start.
Yeah, it's not good for them. I have to say it's unfortunate from their perspective, because they've only got 3 players on the bench. They've been struggling.
And again, though, it's been 2 real innocent clashes where you wouldn't expect blood to be drawn, really, and it's happened. So I think you can see their manager, he really wants both of them to stay on, because obviously if he uses 2 of his subs up, he really has got one option left.
They do have a very experienced defender in Chris Westwood on the bench. Guiseley play a long ball down the right hand side. Ryan Toulson comes up from right back, chasing it up against Glenn Walker. Walker gets a good enough challenge in, and Guiseley have a throw in on the right hand side. Toulson will collect. He looks for options. He might even try to launch this one into the area. He steps back, and Guiseley get the big men forward. This one is lofted long up towards Liam Dickinson. He doesn't get it. Dickinson gets the second stab at it, headed away bravely by Hurst. Guiseley picked the ball up then for a second at an interception from Danny Boschel, but it trundles all the way through to Dan Crane. And another goal in the Vanarama Conference North. It's Colwyn Bay 0, Worcester City 1. And as the ball goes up the other end, there is a throw-in for Hednesford. And who's coming up to take it? But that man, Ben Bailey, who himself now has a Terry Butcher-style bandage around the top of his head. I might need to explain that one for the younger listeners, if we have one. In the meanwhile, it's a good distance from goal. It's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. He looks like he's going to launch it into the area, but he actually goes square to Hurst. And his fellow bandaged defender blasts the ball high and wide over the bar for a goal kick. You've
got to say, though, that's really clever play by Hednesford, because what happens is nearly every Guiseley player is in the area. They're all expecting that long throw. Throws it short, and Hurst has got about 15 yards of space, and he's got every right to have a shot on goal. It goes well over, but I think what it also shows is that they can offer a bit of variety in that position. They can throw it long and get the big men in there, but they can also throw it short and let one of their other players have a shot on goal. So again, it's just making Guiseley think that they do have something more to their game.
Hurst has just gone late in on Gavin Rothery, just in front of the main stand here, and the referee will have a word with James Hurst. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a card, because he does seem to be... I thought he might have been reaching to his pocket. I think he's just having the first word, actually. The referee today is Andrew Miller. And I think that was first foul warning. Guys have a free kick nonetheless, just a few yards in from the touchline here, inside the Hednesford half. It's sent long, helped away by Bailey. Picked up here by Danny Lowe, deep inside his own half. Back to Stephen Drench. Drench puts his foot through it, up towards Liam Dickinson. Headed away well again by Ben Bailey, who clearly's got a knock on the head, not around the nose as we first thought. So that's where the bandage is. Guys, they have to defend once again. Danny Ellis has to come across to ensure that Steve Diggin doesn't get hold of the ball. Liam Dickinson has to make his way all the way back into the penalty area and help defend this, because it's going to be another launched throw-in from Ben Bailey.
And again, it's showing you just how dangerous this throw-in is, that Mark is having to send all his big players back into the area just to defend the throw.
They're like corners, aren't they? They're as dangerous as corners each time.
So this Ben Bailey's going to have to get rebandaged, because you can see now there's a clear bit of blood that's gone through the bandage and is now down his face.
So frustrating from their perspective, but I guess we'll have to go off the field, and that, for this duration of this treatment, means that Paul McCone is going to try the same trick of lofting the ball into the penalty area. We've got a few scores that are coming in. They're taking an age with this throw-in, and McCone's now decided he's not going to take it, and Glenn Walker will, as they try to tick the clock down to allow Ben Bailey to come back on the field. Good tackle comes in from Ryan Toulson on Glenn Walker. Another throw for Hednesford. Referee trying to hurry them along. Walker plays it into Diggin, back to Walker. Two former Brackley men combine, and then Walker curls this one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Good header away. And eventually it's gone behind for a corner for Hednesford. And up gets Danny Hall and Marvin Robinson, the two that were battling for the ball on the edge of that 6-yard box.
Just got to say credit to Danny Hall there, because it's a fantastic cross in. Marvin Robinson, it's a free header, and Danny Hall has literally put his head in the way. He's taken a bit of a knock there, back of his head. He's straight back up, and I know how tough Danny is. He'll have enjoyed that, though, obviously, being out for so long.
Bailey's back on the field, so Hednesford back with 11. And now, guys, you have to defend a corner. The ball whipped in to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed towards a goal, headed off the line by Danny Lowe and helped away. It was a certain goal if he hadn't been there. The ball helped back into the penalty area, nodded back into the 6-yard box. Danny Hall chests it down rather intelligently and allows Stephen Drench to claim the ball and Guisey to try the counter-attack quickly, but Drench simply hits the head of Ben Bailey. Guisey win the ball back, though. Liam Dickinson up against Hurst. Hurst with a very firm, strong header. Towered over Dickinson there, and wins the ball back for the Pitmen, and they come down the right-hand side once again here with Adam Thomas up against Danny Lowe. Thomas gets the better of him, gets the ball into the area, cut out by Hall. Lowe, clear, high in the sky. Wayne Brooksby battles to try and win this back, does well, gives it to Gavin Rothery, and Rothery's closed down by Tom Thorley, and in the end, although it looked like Tom Thorley had gone through the back of Rothery, actually a throw-in is given to Hednesford.
I think player reaction gives it away. All the Hednesford players are starting to go backwards. They think guys are going to get the ball back. Referee, though, gives the throw to them.
Throw-in comes in. Back here to Hurst. Plays the ball across field. Helped on by Thorley into the feet of Walker. Walker chips it down that left-hand flank towards the edge of the penalty area, where Danny Ellis heads out for another throw-in. And again, of course, that means that Ben Bailey can come forward and again use that aerial long ball, long throw threat that, of course, that they offer. Guys are getting bodies back in the box. Everyone in the area, really, except for Adam Boyes, and he's only 10 yards outside of the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's flicked on, and it's helped just wide by Stephen Drench. An absolutely top draw save from the goalkeeper. A long throw in, a little flick on header. It was heading into the goal, but Drench was very swift with the reactions, managed to get down well and get a firm palm on it and put it behind for another corner.
Well, you've got to say praise all round, because it is a fantastic throw into the area. Marvin Robinson gets a good head on it. Steve Drench able to turn it round the post.
Backs against the walls here for Guisey at the moment. Another corner from the right-hand side for Hednesford. Whipped in towards the back post this time, up towards Bailey, headed away by Lowe. It's going to be another corner for the Pitmen, and Guisey really are having to dig in here and defend deep.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they're having to keep a lot of their attacking players also back in the area for all these crosses and throws as well. So what it means is the pressure's always on them until they're able to push forward.
Corner to be delivered from this left-hand side. Whipped in again into 6-yard box, helped away by Liam Dickinson. Only as far as Ben Bailey. He blasts it into the body of Jake Lawler. Optimistically claims a penalty. And then Jake Lawler plays it against Bailey and earns Guiseley a goal kick.
You've got to say, when that cross is put in, there's about 10 men in the 6-yard box. It is just so compact, and Steve Drench is trying to get a hand onto it. He just can't, and that's their tactic. They overcrowd the areas. It works for them, though, and they do get chances from it. And so far, you've got to say they've had the better chances. They've had the better play.
So let's just quickly go down some other scores. Chorley are now a goal up against Gloucester. Chorley 1, Gloucester 0. Fylde 0, Harrogate Town 1. Fylde, of course, would be 4 games on the road defeated. Adam Boys at the moment has just got the ball for Guiseley on the right-hand side, plays it square, finds Liam Dickinson. He just loses the ball with his footing, plays it back here to Jake Lawler. He blasts the ball towards a goal. It seems to hit the hand of a Hednesford defender. No claim of a shout for a handball, though, really. That was from any of the players on the field, and it's headed back to Stephen Drench.
Well, I think it's one of them. Lawler hits it. He's about a yard away from him. It does hit his hand, but there's no way he's going to move his hand out of the way, and the referee quite rightly doesn't give a free kick.
Ball played forward by Danny Hall. McCone with a good header. Wins it. Gives it to Thomas. Adam Thomas lays it square, and Guiseley just watching as Hednesford build up possession again. This time a good interception here comes from Adam Boys as he tries to hassle and harry Glenn Walker, but Walker gets the cross, and Ellis has to again hit touch with the clearance. And of course, we all know what that will lead to, don't we?
Yeah, throwing. And I've got to say, this is now the 4th time this throw is going to be taken in basically the same area. And the last 3 times this throw has caused 2 times a bit of panic, and the 3rd time a really good save was had to be made by Drench. So they know that this is going to be, a chance created, or at least something put in. And of course, then he goes short.
But he does, and like you said before, he has space then to play it in. Does Walker? It's flicked away by Lowe, and it's gone out for a corner. So well worked again by Hednesford, who, with the option of going long with a throw, can create space behind the ball there, and Glenn Walker that time with the cross, forcing Danny Lowe to head the ball behind, and another corner for the Pitmen.
And again, you've got to say, good variety. A couple of long ones followed by a short one, and what it means is Guiseley have to keep guessing.
Corner from the right-hand side. Hednesford with lots of bodies in the box. Ball curled in, helped and held by Stephen Drench, who tries to release the ball quickly towards Adam Boys. It fell to Boys, but his touch with the ball coming at him from a very fast and difficult angle, he couldn't control. And then Crane doesn't control, plays the ball straight to Gavin Rothery, but his control just second when compared to that of the Hednesford man that was defending him. And now the counter-attack's on for Hednesford. And guys, you just sense that there is a chance to get behind this Hednesford ball. This Hednesford defence, rather. Meanwhile, though, the Pitmen come down the right-hand side. Adam Thomas chasing. Danny Hall stepping across. Thomas slides in on Hall. Trips him up. Apologises. And Danny Hall looks despairingly towards the referee, really, there. But nothing in the end is given.
Well, I think Thomas gets a little bit lucky there, because Danny Hall reacts to it really well, but the ball has clearly gone out of play, and Thomas goes in and doesn't get any of the ball. The ball's already gone out and catches Hall, and Hall laughs it off. Just they shake hands in the end, but I know some players who would be on the floor rolling around saying that he was nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, no, all credit to Danny Hall, I think, in that instance. There's nothing really wrong with it. The ball's picked up now here with Adam Boys, just nodding it towards Gavin Rothery. But guys, they aren't finding any space. They're not finding any possession of this football either. And at the moment, it's Hednesford who are dictating things. And they're doing so again, playing it down that right-hand channel. The visitors, again, play the ball forward towards Marvin Robertson, right over him, and it's going to be another goal kick.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball forward, get it long, but Guiseley, with the 2 experienced centre-backs of Hall and Ellis, they're able to control the attacking players for Hednesford, so they're going to have to try something a little bit different in terms of that. But you've got to say, when Guiseley try it, in terms of long balls as well, a lot of the time, this Pitman defence, they do the same, so it just feels like a bit of a stalemate at the minute.
Well, I think if it's a boxing match, I think Pitmen are leading on points. No goals, though, yet. Still 0-0. That's all that matters. Not our cliché points. And Guiseley being hassled and harried, and Wayne Brooksby this time earning a free kick for the Lions inside their own half. We'll have a chance to just change the aspect of this game, and Guiseley get some bodies forward here. And I think Ryan Toulson will take this. It's occasionally Stephen Drench territory, isn't it? He's not coming out so far today. Guiseley have 4 on the edge of the 18-yard box. This time the free kick isn't so good. And it's not well defended either. It goes back to the halfway line though with Danny Hall. And then Danny Boschel takes over. He plays a good long one in towards the area, headed away well by Bailey. Blasts a clearance against the referee. Falls kindly for Adam Thomas. Thomas comes over the halfway line. Gives the ball here to Andy Todd. Andy Todd surges forward in towards the penalty area. Great tackle comes in from Danny Ellis. Superb tackle to deny Todd, who was on a really good run. And in the end, the ball has gone out for a Guiseley throw.
I think the referee will just be breathing a sigh of relief there, because ball's clearly just been kicked out to go out of play. Hits off him and it just falls perfectly for Todd, who goes on a really good run. Danny Ellis stops him in the end, but if that had gone in, I know some Guiseley fans would not be happy.
Ellis now plays a long one towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Picked up by Danny Boschel as it's returned by Hednesford. Now Wayne Brooksby tries to get past Glenn Walker, but Walker is too savvy for him on that occasion. Danny Ellis called into action once again. He wins the ball back, and Ellis looking very solid in this first opening 20 minutes or so. 25 minutes gone in this game. We've had a long stoppage for a couple of head injuries to Hednesford players. So Danny Hall helps the ball forward. Now it's a chance here for Guiseley to come down the right-hand side. So with Liam Dickinson. Dickinson has the overlapping Ryan Toulson as an option, but he's unable to get past Glenn Walker. Walker sticks to his task well. Guiseley have the throw though. Jake Lawler is closed down, but does well to get the ball into the area. Liam Dickinson wins it. Gavin Rothery on the edge of the D, just can't get the ball under control. And again, the Pitmen come away with it, and it seemed to ricochet around on the edge of the D there. A difficult one for Rothery to control. And then, well, I'm afraid linesman on this right side has rather bought a free kick. There's absolutely no chance of that, and it's a bad call that Marvin Robinson's just gone to ground up against Danny Hall. And I have to say, that's a bad decision. That's a mistake, and Hednesford have a free kick.
It could be a very costly mistake as well, because it's in a good area. It's one of them. It's a long ball. Robinson's struggling to get there. He sees Danny Hall near him, goes to the floor, and the linesman, who's very close to it, gives that free kick. And you've got to say, the referee, who's not that near, didn't give it. So, a bit surprised there.
Yes, and for some reason, James Hurst has talked himself into the book. He, of course, had one tackle earlier on that we thought might have been on the cusp of a yellow. I think in the end the referee got that one right, but Hurst has managed to say something to the referee, and he's decided to book the fullback. Walker's cross comes in. It's a good one. It's an own goal.
It's
Dickinson. Liam Dickinson has flicked the ball on at the wrong end, and a free kick that shouldn't have been given has led to a goal that's been put into his own net by Liam Dickinson. And after 27 minutes, 2 mistakes have been compounded, one by the referee and given the free kick in the first place, and the second by Liam Dickinson, who just didn't get a good enough connection on the ball, and he's headed it perfectly into the bottom left-hand corner. Guiseley trail. Guiseley nil, Hednesford 1.
It's one of them. It's a fantastic header where Steve Drench has no chance of saving it. Dickinson is trying to head it out of play. Got to say, it's a good free kick, but you go back to that original point, it shouldn't have been a free kick. The linesman seemed to buy one there, and well, Hednesford, got to say, actually, in terms of chances, they have been the better side, but you don't want to concede a goal like that. You don't want to concede a goal off an officiating error.
Well, Guiseley trail 1-0 here. Fylde trail 2-0 now at home to Harrogate. Barrow lead Solihull 1-0, and Brackley are beating Staleybridge by 2-0. Can Guiseley get back on level terms early on in this game? Headed back by Adam Boyes into Gavin Rothery. Again, the combination play up front not leading to anything productive, and Hednesford keep coming away with the ball and keep coming forward with some purpose. Adam Thomas playing well, playing the ball to the left-hand side here, finding Kerry. Thomas and Kerry combine well. The ball into the area from Thomas, up towards Robinson. Robinson gets the head. Stephen Drench has to tip it over the bar. He was awkward at his footing there. Drench underneath the crossbar there had to do enough to make sure that Marvin Robinson's looping header didn't creep under the crossbar, and it's another Hednesford corner.
Got to say, the ball's whipped in, and Robinson, it doesn't hit off his head, it hits off his shoulder, and that's what means it gets not great pace on it, but it loops, and it's going to be looping in, and Drench does really well just to tip it over.
Corner comes in, whipped into this front post where it's helped away by Danny Boschel. Adam Boys trying to win the ball back, but second to everything, guys, it seems, in this opening period. Glenn Walker wins this one. Danny Lowe is bundled over by McCone, but has to get back up. Hednesford have the ball into the area once again, helped onto the far post, and in the end there's a flag, I think, that's gone up, and Guiseley have a free kick. A Hednesford offside decision goes against them. There's a couple of other goals that we've been in games outside of the Vanarama Conference North that we've been following on the local sides. Huddersfield are trailing by a goal to nil to Bournemouth. Halifax now 2-0 up in the Vanarama Conference against Dover. And York, who right at the bottom of League 2, are a goal up against Tranmere. Big game that at the bottom of that division. Hednesford have another throw inside their own half. And this time, what's the referee doing?
Bailey's bleeding again. He's got blood pouring down his face yet again. And
well, he's been fully committed into this game, hasn't he, Ben Bailey? He's been winning headers. The problem is, if you've got a cut and every time you're heading the ball, it seems rather inevitable that it's going to be aggravated, and he probably needs a stitch in it, doesn't he, or something to abate the bleeding. At the moment, he's just going to have to settle for temporary measures. Another bandaged player, meanwhile, takes the throw this time, James Hurst, who plays the ball into the feet of Thomas. And now, with Glenn Walker just coming over the halfway line, the ball goes back to Andy Todd, who sends it long. Andy Todd just back in defence there for a moment, gets it to Diggin. Diggin holds it up well. Gives it here to Walker. Walker with good skills, gets the ball past his man and then gets it into the area. Wayne Brooksby sticks to his task second time round, but then Tilson gives it back to Walker. Has to make a lunging tackle, and at the expense of a corner.
I think it's one of them where Tilson, sometimes it is just better to just clear your lines, get it out of play or get it away from the area. Just Hednesford are now putting black tape over Ben Bailey's cut. Now, what that'll mean is it'll be harder for the ref to identify if the cut is there. I think that's the plan, because all them Hednesford players are getting frustrated that he's having to come back on and off every 5 minutes. So I think that's their ploy, to try and stop it bleeding.
Corner now for Hednesford. Whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Hands goes up with Marvin Robinson. He clearly goes for the ball and touches the ball with his hand. Referee ignores it and gives a corner again to Hednesford. Well, that's just a dreadful error from the referee.
Yeah, I can't believe he's given a corner there. He's clearly handled the ball out of play, and I really can't believe it.
Corner comes in again from Hednesford. This one into the 6-yard box, punched away by Stephen Drench. Still not cleared. Only as far as Glenn Walker. He drives it in. It takes a deflection. It's in nowhere. Still not away. McCone can't get it clear. Guys, he just can't get the ball away at the moment. It's now with Todd. Todd goes down to the byline. He's got Gavin Rothery up against him. Guys, he just need to step up a bit here, because at the moment Hednesford are dictating things. The ball into the area, helped away this time by Danny Boschel. Wayne Brooksby can't get the ball that's cleared by Boschel, and he's robbed again by Glenn Walker. And again, Hednesford come forward. Guys, you're having to really dig in here and work hard, though. They've won the ball back now. Danny Boschel out here to Gavin Rothery. He needs to do something with this ball. He's up against two players and tackled. Keeps hold of it well, though. Goes back to Jake Lawler. The Lions give it to Danny Lowe. Lowe down the left-hand side, looking for Adam Boys. He doesn't win it. Header from Kerry. Gives it straight to Danny Boschel. Guys, on the halfway line now with Danny Ellis. Up towards Wayne Brooksby, and we have no time for not being able to control the ball. Brooksby can't control on that occasion. And this time it's all the way up into Guiseley's half, but thankfully back with Stephen Drench.
Well, we're just trying to now start to dictate the pace, because for the last 10 minutes we've let the Pitmen really dictate the pace for that whole time. Now, guys, it's all about getting the ball, keeping possession, and just getting it up to the right third.
Boys now on the ball, plays it out to the right-hand side. Brooksby has to win this before it goes out of play. He does. He keeps it in play. Now he's up against Glenn Walker. Walker brings him down after Brooksby just gets ahead of him. Guys, they have a free kick. And I think Walker will go in the book. Glenn Walker will get a yellow card, the second of the game. Both fullbacks now on yellow cards.
Got to say, full credit to Wayne Brooksby there, because Adam Boys, it's a really good pass in terms of the area, but it looks like it's going out of play, and Brooksby able to just backheel it, keep it in play, and then run for the ball and basically force Glenn Walker into making a tackle. Really good play there, and hopefully now we can gain something from this free kick.
It's about like a corner, but short corner, and it's played short indeed to Danny Boschel onto the edge of the area. Groans around the ground because the guys, spectators wanted the ball to go direct, and you can hear the displeasure as Brooksby shanks his cross, and it's gone straight to Hednesford, who will come back upfield now with Andy Todd on the halfway line. So Ghazi worked their way into a good position and gifted the ball back to Hednesford. The ball into the area. There's a chance here for Diggin to put the ball in the back of the net, which he does, but the flag had already gone up. And that looked very close. Robinson and Diggin are furious with the linesman. But it's a free kick to Guiseley, not a goal. But all that, in fact, that move that led to that opportunity all came from a very poor set piece from Guiseley.
Well, that's the problem when you take it basically was a corner. We're in that area, taking the free kick, taking it short. And Danny Boschel isn't expecting the ball, you can tell that. So he passes it back to Wayne. Wayne isn't expecting that pass then. And then it all ends up with Hednesford getting nearly scoring with it being disallowed for offside.
Gavin Rothery now gets the ball into the box, but it's helped away by McCone. Danny Boschel takes a throw quickly into Liam Dickinson on the edge of the area. Dickinson turns, gets a shot away, gets underneath it. And it's high and over the bar. But it was a good position that he worked himself into. And the first sort of sense of threat from Guiseley for a long time in this game, and that's 36 minutes into this match, perhaps the best, and it was only a half chance, the best chance the Lions have had.
Yeah, technique-wise it was very good. He holds off the two centre-backs, always going over the bar though, unfortunately, but just got to say that Hednesford, that offside goal, that was very, very close, and the linesman seemed adamant that it was offside, but you know, on another day, you could see the linesman giving the attacking side the advantage there.
Hednesford now have the ball on the halfway line. It's a poor ball forward this time. Guys are just having a better spell in this game. Back all the way to Stephen Drench. Couple of goals in the Vanarama Conference North. It's now Brackley 4-0 up against Stalybridge. Liam Dickinson looked to be held down by McCone. Referee's not interested in those sort of aerial challenges. This time, guys, he picked the ball up and it's sent down towards Gavin Rothery. He won't get there. Leamington 1, Gainsborough 0. Boston United 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0. Of course, Boston come here next week, and then we play Bradford Park Avenue straight afterwards. Stockport 1, Hyde 0. And it's now Barrow 1, Solihull Moors 1. And Chorley 1, Gloucester 1. Meanwhile, Hednesford have recovered the ball and play it forward, with Glenn Walker knocking it up towards Steve Diggin. Head back by Danny Ellis to Stephen Drench. And Guiseley again will start from the back with this ball. It's been a frustrating first 45 minutes, hasn't it, Tom? The first half has been really, all about how Hednesford have dictated play.
I think it's just been the case. They've been so clever when they've got the ball. They've made Guiseley feel like they had control, but they never did. And just the amount of times guys have had the ball and given it away, it really is worrying.
That's frustrating, and they've just done that there. They had a throw-in inside the Hednesford half, and now it comes down the other end here with Thomas into the penalty area. Goes back as the cross comes in, then towards the back post. Stephen Trench, nonchalant as he watched it go past his upright, but it certainly looks a little bit closer for us from in the stand, and was far less comfortable watching as it just whizzed past the upright and behind for a goal kick.
Well, you've got to give Adam Thomas a lot of credit there, because he gets the ball, he passes it forward to Marvin Robinson, and he realises Robinson's offside, so he actually runs after his own pass, keeps it in, gets it back, and then that cross, Steve Drench, he looked confident that wasn't going in, but just for a split second I was worried it might be curling in.
Goal kick taken, Hednesford win the ball back. Comes back into the Guiseley half, helped away by Danny Ellis up towards the halfway line. Gavin Rothery is clipped. He wins a free kick. To be fair, I'm not really overly convinced by that. Guiseley do get a free kick. And actually it was a free kick deep inside the Guiseley half that the referee didn't get quite right. That led to their goal. Can the footballing gods return the favour? Toulson goes up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but Ben Bailey muscles Liam Dickinson off the ball. And then Hednesford just recover possession. And it's fair to say that was very disappointing. I tell you what, look at this. Brackley now 5-0 up against Stalybridge in the first half. And it's Barrow 1, Solihull Moors 2.
Incredible.
Tom Thorley now on the ball for Hednesford. Big afternoon for these teams. Very big afternoon, especially if both Fylde and Barrow were to go on to lose those games. Guiseley need the 3 points here. And at the moment they are trailing by 1-0. The goal, an own goal by Liam Dickinson on 27 minutes. And it's another throw for Hednesford. And every time they have a throw, Ben Bailey has the option to launch it long, as he looks like he might be doing. And if he doesn't launch it long, he finds he's got plenty of players in space. And this is what will happen again, because Bailey does. He sends it into the penalty area, up towards McCone. He flicks it on, headed away by Liam Dickinson. Gavin Rothery, under pressure, does well to get it to Wayne Brooksby, who in turn blasts it against the Hednesford defender. And gets a throw-in for Guiseley in their own half. 40 minutes gone, so 5 minutes to the break. 1-0 to Hednesford. The visitors scoring with an own goal. Guiseley trying to get back into this game, but ended up having to do an awful lot more defending than attacking. Thomas to Hurst. Hurst sends it up towards Kerry. Kerry lays it back here to Thomas. Thomas goes down to the byline, blocked by Lowe, and Lowe wins. Lowe concedes a throw-in for Hednesford.
And there we go, the throw. Ben Bailey immediately puts his arm up, says, "I'll be taking this one." And again, just with that last throw as well, it showed it isn't the case that he's just throwing it into the area and seeing what happens. He's picking people out. He can pick a player out. He's got very good technique with this long throw. Again, it's causing Guiseley a lot of problems.
Throw comes in, headed up in the air by McCone. Actually, it's taken a deflection off a Guiseley man. It's going to be another corner for Hednesford.
Yeah, I think the referee got that one right, because it just took a little nick off Jake Lawler afterwards. Lawler just making sure it wasn't going to go in, because that header, although it was on target, didn't have any real power to it, but Lawler just better safe than sorry, get it out of the area.
So threatening with these balls into the box, and it's another corner that will come from this right-hand side. There's 5-6 blue shirts all wanting to get on the end of it. It goes up towards Robertson, just beyond him, and eventually Danny Lowe, with a battle against Andy Todd, gets the ball away. Big shout from the visiting fans at his foul. There was a foul on Todd, and then as Gavin Rothery came away with the ball, Ben Bailey managed to trip him, and I think he took one for the team there, because Rothery was away from him and was starting a counter-attack, and inside his own half he'll go into the book and be the third Hednesford defender on a yellow card.
Yeah, I think Bailey knows exactly what he's doing. He tries to get Rothery, realises there's no chance, and he just sticks a leg out, makes sure that Rothery falls over it, and it's a yellow card. And Bailey seemed to just have a little bit of a protest there, and one or two of his teammates basically just trying to get him away from the referee, saying, "Look, you've took one for the team, thanks, just take your yellow card, let's move on."
Free kick, then Stephen Drench will take this right in front of the dugout. Blasts it forward up towards the edge of the D. Jake Lawler gets there. Liam Dickinson gets a flick on. Defended well. Danny Ellis will recover the loose ball. Plays it back to Danny Hall. Guys, he still have bodies forward if all can go long. And he decides to do that. Or does he? No, he goes square to Jake Lawler. Lawler himself decides to do the long ball. And then Liam Dickinson, surely he's been fouled there. And the referee opts not to give it. But Guiseley, oh my goodness, how on earth did he not get that free kick? The man went straight through the back of him. And Guiseley, needless to say, don't get the free kick. Exasperatingly. and Hednesford come away with the ball. It's feeling like it's going to be one of those afternoons already. And it's cleared by Low, and it goes out. And in the meantime, fans in front of us just proving their ineptitude, returning the ball over the fence. Eventually someone steps forward and deals with the task, but it's going to be another throw-in, and you just can't take throw-ins lightly, as we've been saying all afternoon. Ben Bailey now. He threatens to launch. It's about midway through the Guiseley half on the right-hand side, and he still gets a good ball into the area. It's punched away, headed away as far as Kerry. He has a shot that's blocked. Guiseley eventually get the ball away, and Gavin Rotherley takes a clip. But Guiseley come forward here with Wayne Brooksby. He's tripped by Tom Thorley. And Wayne Brooksby protests, and Tom Thorley will be the fourth booking this afternoon. Actually, I have to say, a booking for that seems rather harsh, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I think the problem is the referees now set that principle of if a tackle happens about midway through the pitch, you're going to get a booking. Just going back to that Liam Dickinson free kick, though, where it is, I've got to say, it's Foley who actually does that as well. So, in a way, he's got that booking for something a lot less, because Foley just basically takes Dickinson out with the jump, and I couldn't believe a free kick wasn't given.
Free kick comes in this time, up in the air. Liam Dickinson, Jake Lawler right underneath it, but a superb claim from Dan Crane, denies Guiseley. And Dan Crane really showed his strength in the box there, didn't he, to come off his line and claim that one. Up against Liam Dickinson and Jake Lawler. And it's immediately sent into the Guiseley half. It's won by boys, though, and Guiseley come away with the ball once again. This time, Wayne Brooksby goes down under the challenge of Lloyd Kerry. It is a foul. The referee decides not to give it, and then gives a foul for something innocuous against Danny Boschel. And I think he's just lost a little bit of the thread of this game, the official, because some of the decisions are strange, to say the least.
The reason I've laughed there is you've got it's Foley. Tom Foley complains to the referee, actually, because the free kick's been given, thinking guys have got the free kick, and he's given it to them, and can't believe it. I really can't.
It's a little bit exasperating, as I said before. Meanwhile, the ball's gone out. It's trundled out for a goal kick. Guiseley will start again. Boston United 2-0 up now against Bradford Park Avenue. And Boston United certainly are hitting form. As I said earlier, they are next up at Nethermore next Saturday. Bradford Park Avenue swiftly after that as well.
Come on, ref, you're not doing very well.
Goal kick. Stephen Trench, as you probably heard that comment from the fan base about the referee's performance. It's very civilised, I thought, in all circumstances. Guiseley now get the ball down the left-hand side. Danny Boschel. He's just nutmegged a player, kept hold of possession, gives it to Jake Lawler. A rare thing to smile about for Guiseley in this first half. Jake Lawler plays a nice 1-2 with Toulson, gets the ball forward. Lovely 1-2 between Boys and Boschel. Boschel intercepted though on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's gone out for a throw-in. And a ball has to be recovered, but a good move there from the Lions.
Yeah, really good play by Danny Boschel, and that's what he brings to gear. He gets the ball, he's a calming influence, nice little nutmeg as well, and he ends up with guys that get in possession in a good area.
Danny Lowe lays it back here to Hall. Hall to Jake Lawler. Lawler's under pressure straight away. Very cool with the ball though. Danny Hall now floats the ball in towards the edge of the D, headed away by McCone. Gets the header towards Marvin Robinson, and Robinson will take his time, lays it back. Danny Boschel just playing a little bit further up the park and trying to win the ball back for Guiseley. Does well, but then a touch a little bit heavy allows Marvin Robinson to intercept, and then the ball is sent down towards the former Backley striker Steve Dickin, who is up against Danny Ellis, but can't keep it in play, and Guiseley have a throw-in just up from the corner flag. And I reckon we saw 3 minutes of added time. I reckon we must be there or thereabouts now. The throw-in's actually been won again by Hednesford inside Guiseley's half, and it really isn't good enough, really, and it's been won back here by Thomas, and Thomas is up against Danny Lowe. In the end, the referee calls for half-time, and a miserable first 45, I'm afraid to report. The Lions trail. Liam Dickinson put through his own net on 27, and Hednesford have been dominant. They have bossed the game, and it's Guiseley 0, Hednesford 1.
Well, at half-time, you've got to say that Ben Bailey and his long throw has caused havoc in the Guiseley area. They've played really well. Hednesford, though, they've dictated the play, they've dictated the pace, and for Guiseley, it simply has not been good enough. When they've not had the ball, they've not been able to play. And the problem is they've not had the ball that often. They need to try and get the ball back. During that second half, they need to also push up a little bit more as well, because Hednesford, they'll be more than happy for this to continue the way it is. But you've got to say that the goal that they've scored from is from a free kick that quite simply should not have been given.
Yeah, well, we can rue that at the break. We're going to go off air for about 10 minutes or so. First, a quick rundown of the scores that we've been following. In the Championship local sides, Bournemouth 1, Huddersfield 0, Leeds 1, Millwall 0, League 2, York 1, Tranmere 0. In the Vanarama Conference, amongst other games, Halifax 2, Dover 1. Vanarama Conference North, Barrow 1, Solihull Moors 2. Boston United 2, Bradford Park Avenue 0. Colwyn Bay 0, Worcester City 1. AFC Fylde 0, Harrogate Town 2. Guiseley 0, Hednesford 1. Leamington 1, Gainsborough 0. North Ferriby 0, Tamworth 0. Oxford City 0, Lowestoft 1. Stalybridge Celtic 0, Brackley 5. And Stockport 1, Hyde 0. Chorley 1, Gloucester City 1. Well, we'll be back in 10 minutes' time. Hopefully fortunes will have changed by then, and Guiseley will dominate the second half and run out 5-1 winners. Well, we can always hope. We'll see you back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Guiseley AFC Radio. Second half not quite about to get underway. We've got the Lions are out. No sign of Hednesford as yet. I suggest that Mark Bauer has sent the team out early, or the team have sent themselves out early to show that they can change things around. Half-time with Hednesford leading by 1-0. But the difference between the two sides has perhaps been more than that single goal, Tom.
Yeah, I think them being brought out early is a case of, they're not happy with their performance. Mark's not happy. The fans, there were no applause at half-time, and Hednesford, they dominated that first half in terms of dictating the play. And for Guiseley, it's all about starting the second half just so much better than they did the first, and hopefully Guiseley can do that. Nice early goal, you never know, but I think the next goal really is going to be important, because if Hednesford go 2-0 up, I don't see Guiseley getting anything out of this game because of how well Hednesford can defend and how well they can make a game become so compact. So for Guiseley, it's just all about getting that early goal, early bit of momentum, and then seeing what happens then. Well,
Hednesford do come out onto the field. Been very dominant, have they? I mean, you look at the movement of the players, it's a lot of the quality has come through midfield. Marvin Robertson, always a handful up front, obviously. Steve Dickin, another very good quality player. But, look at the fullbacks, Glenn Walker, James Hurst, they've been getting forward, they've been involved. Ben Bailey, obviously, as a long throw expert. It seems to be that their overall approach to the game has been about getting the back players involved and into the game and using that pace and getting down the channels and getting balls into the box. And they've done it with great effect.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes them so effective, because you look at Marvin Robinson and Steve Dickin and you'd say they haven't been as effective as you'd think they would be for them to be the main attacking players for them. But then you look at the fact that the fullbacks are pushing on. You look at the fact that they've got two central midfielders are more than happy to get forward. And what it means is you've got Danny Hall, Danny Ellis. They're marking the centre-back. They're marking the strikers. They're doing the centre-back's job. But then you've got Torson and Lowe having to mark the fullbacks. And what it means is you've got a midfield that's very happy to have the ball, have plenty of possession, and also be able to get time and space to get forward when they have the ball. So I think it is one of them. It's a clever tactic. That's what it is. And for Guiseley, they've got to see past that. They've got to try and change something, because during that first half, it was just a point of, if the fullbacks didn't have the ball in a good area, then the attackers would have the ball in a good area. If the attackers didn't, the midfield would. So for Guiseley, they've got to change that, because if they don't, the Pitmen, it looks like it will be 3 points for them.
I kind of agree. I mean, I do think that we need to engage them higher up the pitch, closing them down from the back, and trying to just change the dynamic of this game, which has at the moment been in their favour. And it's a big afternoon, isn't it? Because if you look at the scores at the moment, both Barrow and Fylde are losing. So Tamworth and Hednesford at the moment are in a really good position to make some great headway. And Guiseley, if we could do the same, if we could get the 3 points instead of Hednesford today, we would be right up there. Now, I know Mark won't want to talk about this, but if you look at the table as it stands, Barrow top with 60, Fylde with 58. If Guiseley were to turn this round, we'd be there with 51 and 3 games in hand over the leaders. So we would be, right up there in touch and distance of that title chase again.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you look at Hednesford, I don't think they're aiming for automatic promotion, even if they win today, because they have played a few more games than some of the teams around them. So for Guiseley, it's all about this next 45 minutes. If Guiseley can get the win, it's a 3 points, which could be pivotal towards the end of the season.
It's a big 45 minutes of football, this. And the referee has just got us back underway. And immediately, Hednesford are on the attack, headed away by Danny Ellis. Picked up now by Gavin Rothery, inside his own half, a little spin on the ball, and he plays it coolly out to the right-hand side, where Ryan Toulson chips the ball forward up to Liam Dickinson. Chest and control isn't good enough, and Liam Dickinson holds his hands up in apology. Meanwhile, Hednesford get the ball down, and Jake Lawler holds on to it inside his own half before playing it towards Liam Dickinson, who's again a little bit heavy, away from Adam Boyes. Dickinson involved again, this time picks the ball up, plays it down the channel that Adam Boyes isn't in, and gives it all the way back to goalkeeper Crane.
Well, I think there'll be a little bit of a positive there, because that's the first time in 46 minutes that Liam Dickinson's been able to get the ball and not have 2 or 3 men around him. So if that can happen again, I think the first time it just is a case Liam looks around and realises there's no one near him and he panics a little bit. So hopefully next time there'll be a bit more composure and that pass can find his partner, boys.
Now Hednesford come down the right hand side. Hurst cuts into the penalty area. He's gone past one. He's laid it across the 6-yard box into Diggin. Diggin gets a shot away. It's blocked. It's only as far as the edge of the 18-yard box. A ball comes drilled in towards the goal. It's taken a deflection. It was Adam Thomas. The referee's given a corner, and the Guiseley players absolutely perplexed about that. They're absolutely perplexed. Referee has clearly got that one wrong, but a corner has been awarded. And, you know, it's just flabbergasting. That was a shot. Every player was heading back for the goal kick. The referee was the only one who saw it as a corner, and it's a corner to Hednesford.
I can't believe that's been given as a corner, because it clearly takes no deflection. It's a clean strike, it goes wide, everyone's ready for the goal kick, instead it's a corner.
The ball comes into the 6-yard box, it's headed towards the goal by McCone, and the referee, not surprisingly, gives a free kick, and I think that's an equalising free kick for the corner he clearly realised he got wrong. And, well, two wrongs don't make a right, do they?
No, they don't. I've just got to say, looking at the linesman did not give a corner. That's all I'll say on that. So it's
flicked on there. It's a flick on from Robertson towards Dickinson, rather, towards Boys. Blocked, though, and now Hednesford come back the other end of the field again. This time a good mazy run from Thomas. Adam Thomas runs out of play, though, and Guiseley will get the throw. One thing we haven't mentioned is these yellow cards. 4 players on yellow cards, 3 of them in their back line. That's something that's got to prey on the mind, isn't it, of these Hednesford players in the second half?
Well, you'd think it would, in terms of their 2 fullbacks are both on yellow cards.
Just for a minute, sorry, Tom. There's a chance here, building again for Hednesford. Tom Thorley just feeding the ball into Steve Diggin. His cross is blocked. Hednesford pick up the second phase again. The ball now with Hurst on the right-hand side. Lowe goes up to step up to meet him. Danny Hall gets a touch on it. It's picked up by Diggin. Diggin inside the area, crosses it across the face of the box. This time it is a corner. Hall deflects it behind.
Well, I think that just helps emphasise the point I was going to make. Their 2 fullbacks, both on yellow cards, are both still getting forward, both causing problems still, even though it's a case that you'd think they'd be more vulnerable to getting another yellow card if they're in them attacking positions and having to run back, but they're still playing their game, and them yellow cards don't seem to have affected them. Just got to wonder, if one of them was sent off, then would the other one panic a little bit, thinking that the other fullback's gone, and then obviously Guiseley would gain a bit more room as well. We'll have to wait and see.
Corner to come in. 49 minutes gone. 1-0 to Hednesford. Headed away this time by Danny Ellis. Thorley keeps the ball live as Hednesford win back the second phase. Picked up here by Thomas. Nodded down to McCone. The centre half is well forward. Plays it out to the right-hand side. And then Brooksby momentarily robbed by Glenn Walker, but the ball is knocked behind for a Guiseley throw. Just a few yards up from the corner flag in left-back position.
I've just got to say, it's a little bit worrying again, though. That is a corner that's swung in. Danny Ellis is able to clear it, and then there's only one man outside of the area when it's cleared. And what it means is Hednesford get the ball back immediately, and fine, they've kicked it out for a throw-in. But, you know, again, it's all about trying to push up, get a few more men out of the area, and just try and put a bit of pressure on them, because the Pitmen, like I've said before, they'll be more than happy to be playing where guys they've not got anyone really forward.
Tilson on the ball now, gives it to Jake Lawler. Jake Lawler spins on the ball, 2 players around him, unable to go forward, so it goes back to Danny Ellis. Ellis sends it long, easy for Ben Bailey to deal with. Too far ahead of Boys. Now Danny Ellis has to try and win the ball back off Diggin. Diggin goes down and you can hear the groans. The softest free kick is being given as Danny Ellis tries to win the ball. I think he gets a touch on the ball, and yet the referee gives the free kick.
Well, again, you look at the players' reactions. No one appealed for it. Diggin didn't. Diggin was getting back up. Referee gives it, and yeah, Ellis got the ball.
Now the ball here with Andy Todd. Todd skips past Tilson, but doesn't get any further than Jake Lawler. Lawler up to the halfway line, up towards Dickinson. A little nudge in the back from Bailey, but Dickinson wins the ball, plays it to the right-hand side. Gavin Rothery and Dickinson combine again. Out here with Wayne Brooksby. His options are closed down. Jake Lawless spreads it out to the left-hand side. That's better from Guiseley. Now it's with Danny Lowe. Lowe chips it towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's not the greatest of balls. And in the end, Hednesford recover possession and play it upfield. Picked up here by Danny Ellis. Danny Boschel lays it back here to Ryan Toulson. Ryan Toulson looks ahead of him. Chips it forward up towards Dickinson. Headed away by McCone. Headed on by Jake Lawler. Guiseley still with the ball. Still holding on to the ball for a long spell here for this game. And now Danny Boschel has a few options ahead of him. So goes square here to Gavin Rothery. Gavin Rothery threads the ball into Adam Boys, who chips towards Danny Boschel, but he doesn't get the return ball. Wayne Brooksby goes down under the challenge of Thorley, but there's no free kick given there, and I think the referee's called that right. Toulson, square here to Jake Lawler. Lawler to Danny Boschel. Guys, he's still with the ball, still playing the ball around, but not making any headway into that final third. Wayne Brooksby then is tackled. A great tackle comes in from Lloyd Kerry, and now the counter-attack is on for Hednesford. Good tackle comes in from Danny Ellis, but immediately Hednesford still get the ball. They win the second phase with Todd. Todd goes down. Diggin goes down under the pressure, under the challenge of Stephen Drench. Would have been very soft. The two collided. They came together, but you, for a moment, held your heart in your mouth because you just wondered. Steve Dickin did look like he might have got the better side of Stephen Drench here.
I've got to say, I didn't panic there. I thought Drench got the ball as well.
That was
as
a
the
flick on and almost in for Adam Boys, actually, from Kevin Rothery. I'm sorry, Tom, we'll have to bring you in shortly. The game's not allowing us to do so. Throw in anyway to Hednesford as it's cleared.
Yeah, I've got to say, for just when it happened, it seemed like a little coming together. I felt Drench also got a hand on the ball as well. But then from your point of view, when you think about it, I could see because Drench has got the wrong side of him, but in my opinion, the referee does see that Drench gets a hand on the ball as well, and so no penalty. But yeah, what a phonetic start by both sides.
Now it's Hednesford back in the control of the ball. Hurst on the right-hand side. Comes forward, cuts in field. Hurst can't get past Danny Boschel. Good interception there from the assistant manager. Liam Dickinson over the halfway line. Out to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby controls well. He's got Ryan Toulson on the right-hand side. He goes central, though, into the feet of Rothery. Nice 1-2. Clear foul on Wayne Brooksby. And yet the referee makes the ball motion. And the game plays on. And guys, again, are ruining a decision they might have earned. But Hednesford with the ball, clear. Hurst is bundled into by Gavin Rothery. Hurst goes down and is making a bit of a meal of things. And I think actually Gavin Rothery is going to get a yellow card.
I still can't believe a free kick I'm being given for Wayne Brooksby because it's such a late tackle. It's a clear free kick. It's a clear booking. And then Gavin Rothery's frustrated, goes in a little bit, but Hurst has rolled around 4 times there afterwards. And now the card's been issued. Hurst has jumped back up and actually run on. So looks like he might have bought, the referee might have bought one there. But just going back to that free kick, again, you look at player reactions, and 1 or 2 of the Hednesford attacking players were actually running back when the tackle were made. It looked like they were prepared to be going back to defend the free kick. You know, he's a good 2 or 3 seconds off there with the foul. It's just a clear free kick, and the referee instead says that he got the ball.
10 minutes into the second half. 1-0 still to Hednesford. And Guiseley with some work to do still to try and get back onto level terms here. There's been spells of better possession from the Lions, but there's also been spells of danger again. And a throw for Hednesford once again. Goes forward down the right channel, but it's defended this time by Guiseley, but there's no outlet. So it'll be recovered by the goalkeeper, Dan Crane, and Hednesford can just dictate things at their own pace again. A long one forward from Crane, headed away by Danny Ellis. Adam Boys is bundled over, referee doesn't give it. Unbelievable. Andy Todd comes down the left-hand side. I'm afraid the referee this afternoon, I just think he's misjudged. He just doesn't quite understand some of the tackles. Ball now on the left-hand side. It's out here with Todd. Todd's played the ball up to the back post. Over everyone. There was a very clear free kick against Adam Boys, though, just in front of the main stand here, which is why we reacted as we've done again. I'm trying not to be, too home-sided about this at all. Because it's been both ways, poor decisions.
Yeah, I think that there have been 1 or 2 times as well where Hednesford should have got a free kick and didn't. I think the problem is the referee. He feels that if there's intent to get the ball, he doesn't give anything. So it has to be a real foul for him to give it. And again, he just bundles Adam Boys over. He doesn't get the ball. And the referee seems to point to the ball as if, well, he tried to get it, but just because someone tried to get the ball, it doesn't mean it's not a foul.
Hard job. But it's a frustrating one for us at the moment. Guiseley on the ball here with Ryan Tilson. Square to Jake Lawler. Jake Lawler to Danny Boschel. Danny Boschel plays it out here to Danny Hall, who comes forward, the centre-half occupying left midfield at the moment, and it's a poor ball into the area. Easy for Hurst to clear. Goes over digging, though, and Guiseley recover the ball here with Ryan Tilson. He gets it up towards Wayne Brooksby, who turns Glenn Walker for a moment, but runs out of pitch, and it goes out of field for a throw-in. But it was a good bit of invention, at least from Wayne Brooksby, who, it has to be said, has been perhaps second to the ball on more occasions than Glenn Walker. Very accomplished player, I think, Walker. And showing his skill this afternoon. Throw in, headed towards Adam Boys by Ryan Tilson. Intercepted, but picked up now by Brooksby. Lawler up in the air, trying to change the angle. Up for Lowe. Bounces off 2 players who get then a bit of a pickle, and now guys who pick the ball up here with Boys. Boys can't thread it through towards Danny Boschel. Intercepted again. Good defending from Hednesford, and then the ball up towards Marvin Robinson, and Robinson is offside. And he was a good couple of yards offside, and no question there on that occasion.
Yeah, well, I think Robinson knows it because he's just had a word with Diggin, basically saying, why didn't you hold it up for a few seconds? And then I'd have been able to get it. So clear decision there. But guys, just a case of trying something a bit different because they're going down one wing all the time. Just try and go down that different wing because Jake Lawler's done it twice now where he's got the ball in the centre, passed it to the left, and it's caused problems for him. So do it again.
59 minutes gone, 1-0 to Hednesford. Picked up here by Liam Dickinson inside the Hednesford half. Now Gavin Rothery runs at the edge of the area, plays it out to the right-hand side. Wayne Brooksby floats it in towards a goal. Just goes across the face of the 6-yard box. Dan Crane watched it, but it was close to that left upright. Goes behind for a goal kick. Wasn't the clearest chance. It was somewhat of a half opportunity, but it does at least give the home fans a lift.
Yeah, certainly. And again, it's trying something that little bit different. Rather than trying to go down a very compact middle, just going to one wing can sometimes offer you a bit of joy. And going down the different wing especially. But yeah, Wayne Brooksby there, it seemed like a bit of a cross-come shot because he's obviously looked into the area and actually seen there's not anyone in there at the time. So he decides in the end just to have a bit of an effort on goal.
There's a bit of a fracas in the centre circle and Guiseley lose possession, but now Hednesford come away with it onto the edge of the 18-yard box. It's Todd onto the 6-yard box, takes a shot. Well saved by Stephen Drench, helped over the bar, and it's another corner for the visitors. After it all broke down, as Guiseley went forward, the ball fell to Andy Todd. He made a good surging run, good drive with the left foot, well saved by Stephen Drench.
Well, that could be the moment that changes the game because Todd, it's a fantastic run and he puts so much behind that shot, and Drench, he has to get a hand to it. He does, and then Danny Hall's able to just clear it out of play before Robinson got onto it.
Tom Thorley with the corner from this right-hand side, curls it in, headed away by Danny Boschel, helped away by Jake Lawler. Adam Boys, the only Guiseley man forward, is surrounded by players. Can't prevent himself from being tackled. But Guiseley do recover the ball. It's headed out now by Lloyd Kerry up against Wayne Brooksby, and Guiseley will get a throw inside this Hednesford half. The ball is taken, throw is taken rather very quickly with the replacement ball. And now Jake Lawler gets the ball out to the right-hand side where Ryan Toulson is forward, taking up a wide berth. He plays it into the edge of the D. A good shimmy from Adam Boys. He gets it across the face of goal. Can't be kept in. It was almost put into his own net by James Hurst in an attempt to prevent it going in, and in the end Wayne Brooksby tried to keep the ball in play and has not been able to prevent it go out for a goal kick.
Well, great play there by Guiseley, and the crowd rightfully making a bit of noise after that, because it's a fantastic bit of work, and it's just a ball across the face of goal. You're just waiting for someone to tap it in. Two players slide in trying to get there, and it just misses both feet and goes out of play. But again, it's good play by Guiseley, and again, it's doing something that little bit different, and it's getting into positions where it's one-on-one with defence, rather than it being 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s. One-on-one, you've got players on yellow cards, you can go for them.
Ryan Toulson now wins the ball back for Guiseley. Good work from the Lions, played down here towards Wayne Brooksby, well intercepted from Glenn Walker, and eventually Bailey clears. Lawler trying to win this ball back from Andy Todd. Todd wins the ball on this occasion. Danny Ellis intercepts, picked up now by Ryan Toulson. Toulson looks ahead of him, plays it towards Liam Dickinson, taken down well by the big front man. Square now to Gavin Rothery, down to Wayne Brooksby, controls well, keeps it in play. Jake Lawler in the middle of the park, challenged by Robinson. Lawler holds onto the ball, gives it to Toulson on the right-hand flank. Guiseley not going any further though at the moment. Now Liam Dickinson on the edge of the 18-yard box. Little ball to Gavin Rothery. Cross comes in, up towards Adam Boyes. He heads it down. Danny Boschel just unable to get on the end of it. The ball headed away. This is better from Guiseley, but they've got to watch the counter-attack. And there's a good chance here for Diggin to get the ball up the other end of the field, and he does. He just pokes it forward, and there's a desert of Hednesford players in that half. So Guiseley can recover the ball, and then there's a free kick against Glenn Walker, who's already on a yellow, as Wayne Brooksby takes the ball past him. Referee, I don't think is going to take a card. He just points one more finger up at him, or he's called him forward, and he's just going to give him the talking to here. Couple of quick scorelines to give you. Boston 3, Bradford Park Avenue 0. Stalybridge 1, Brackley 5. Of course, Brackley 5-0 up at half-time there. Halifax look like have got their third goal. They're leading Dover 3-1. Bournemouth 1, Huddersfield 1, so an equaliser for the Terriers.
Interesting, the referee just said, that's it, anything else, you're off. So, be interesting to see now if something else does happen.
Watch your space.
Get off?
Watch your space, eh? Let's be honest. I'm not overly convinced. Stephen Dredge is going to take this free kick inside the Hednesford half. So let's hope it doesn't get repelled too easily. It's up towards Liam Dickinson. He's held up by Ben Bailey. Good defensive play actually from the captain. He just gets between Dickinson and the ball and gets in his way. Prevents the Lion from getting any further, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And you just wonder where the goal's coming from. Guys, have played much better this second half, though. And 64 minutes gone. The Lions still trail, though, to that Liam Dickinson own goal on 27 minutes. Controversial that the free kick was clearly never a free kick, but, you know, overall, Hednesford merited a lead at the break, having dominated possession, dominated the play. Now the visitors come forward. Thomas. Adam Thomas on the right-hand side cuts infield, then goes back out again. Up against Adam Boyes is in defensive duties. And Thomas is not being tackled, and eventually gets the ball into the area and finds Diggin, who makes a very intelligent run. Hurst blasts the ball beyond the netting and the trees at the railway end. And guys, you need to get another ball onto the field. And they do so. And we'll just hope that we can build up again play and get into that Hednesford half.
Yeah, if we can continue playing the way we had for the last you've got to say about 10 minutes, guys have done really well, and just it's doing something a little bit different and causing the Pitmen to think a little bit more, because if you just lump the ball forward, they're more than happy to defend that. So it's going down the wings, it's trying little interchanges, little 1-2s, and the more guys they do that, the more questions they ask. Hopefully they can get something out of it.
Rothery into Jake Lawler. Inside the Hednesford half, Guiseley with a throw and had won it. Danny Ellis now plays it towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good interception comes in, that denies it going through to Boyes from Walker. Picked up by Danny Hall. He has to go back though. Danny Ellis this time will go long. He sprays it out to the left-hand side. Lowe works hard to keep it in play. Boschel to Rothery. Rothery in field to Boys. Boys and Boschel still keep possession, but Hednesford win the ball back here with Thorley. Thorley blasts it against Lowe, and it'll be a Hednesford throw in their right back position.
And the moment that throw was conceded, and immediately a couple of the Hednesford players are just running forward. They're trying to push up that little bit, but it is clear Guiseley are the team with the momentum just for now, and they've got to continue. They've got to maintain that, because remember, it is still 1-0 to the away side, and they'll be more than happy with that come the end of the game if that's how it ends.
Throwing comes in from Hednesford. They get up to the halfway line. Diggin involved again. Guys who come close to letting Adam Thomas through again, but good tackle comes from Danny Ellis. Still on that right hand side. Todd into the area, finds Marvin Robinson. Robinson with his back to goal, can't get the ball down. Good tackle comes in from Danny Ellis, and a free kick's given because Robinson muscles Ellis off the ball, and a free kick to Guiseley. Not overly convinced by that one either, and the Lions managed to defend that one, but Robinson's a real handful, isn't he?
I'll be honest, I didn't think that was a free kick. I think Robinson, it's a strength battle, and he won the battle there. But the referee gives it. It's a decision that the away side, the referee's got wrong there for them. So yeah, it's just a bit of a weird one, really.
Now Guiseley back on the ball. Toulson onto the halfway line. Lawler. Guiseley much better this second half. A long one up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Dickinson has to chase. Liam Dickinson can't keep the ball in play. And it's behind for a goal kick. You just wonder if you're looking at this last sort of 20 minutes or so, and would you bring on Alex Johnson? Would you introduce a Nicky Boschel? Would you change it now?
Well, it's interesting you just say that, and Alex Johnson, Jordan Hendry and Nicky Boschel all start warming up, and it looks like they're going through a proper warm-up now. So I think that'll be just for Mark to be able to keep his options open. You've got the likes of Ollie Johnson and Ben Parker on the bench. Obviously they're not playing, but they're offering advice to the substitute. So, I think someone like AJ would just be a little bit of a different option. You've got Dickinson and Boys, very similar.
Oh, there's just a big foul in the middle of the centre circle from Lloyd Kerry on Danny Bosch, his opposite number. Sorry to cut across there, Tom. We thought we were going to get a free kick. Referee's given play on an advantage. Wayne Brooksby on a bit of a meandering run. He's given away a free kick. It'll be interesting if the referee does indeed pull back Lloyd Kerry for the card. Yeah,
it's right decision there by the referee, because it's one of them. It's clearly a free kick. It's clearly a booking. It's late. The referee, who's done well there, actually given advantage, then pulled it back at the end to give the yellow.
Well, for the second game running, we've had 5 yellow cards for the opposition. Guiseley.
And again, it hasn't been a bad-tempered game.
Ball up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Danny Lowe trying to compete for it. Hednesford win the ball. It's picked up this time, second phase by Danny Boschel to Jake Lawler. He needs options. He goes right to Ellis towards Brooksby. He's beaten to it this time, and now there's a counter-attack option on for Hednesford. Todd is closed down though. Marvin Robinson back in his own half. Takes the ball up to the halfway line. Plays a poor one and gives it straight to Gavin Rothery. Rothery just plays a sensible one to Ryan Toulson. Chips it forward up towards Dickinson. Head in from Dickinson to cross towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but this time McCone's ahead of him. Gavin Rothery picks up the loose ball though inside the Hednesford half. Few options around him, so he has to go back. Danny Boschel threads a ball towards the edge of the 18-yard box where Adam Boys collects. He has to spray it out to the right-hand side where Wayne Brooksby now cuts in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, cuts across that penalty area, gives it to Danny Boschel. Boschel doesn't get his head over the ball there and blasts it over and behind for a goal kick. To say shooting's not the strength of his game, is it really? It's, on occasion when he lines up the efforts from that sort of area, he doesn't tend to hit the target.
Yeah, it's so frustrating as well, because you get into a good area and you just want a pass to be made there rather than a shot from 30 yards out where you're hoping it'll get in target, you're hoping it'll pass a load of players as well. And yeah, you just want a little through ball there to see what happens.
Hednesford now on the counter-attack. A really good ball to the right-hand side here. They cut into field. It's a blast at goal. It's in the back of the net. Adam Thomas against the run of play has doubled the visitors' lead. Guiseley caught out with a swift counter-attack. And it's another afternoon of woe for the Lions on a Saturday afternoon. In 2015, we've not yet to win a game. And we're 2-0 down once again.
You've got to say it's a very good goal. It's a very good goal indeed. Adam Thomas, he looks up, gets into the area, he picks his spot. It's gone right into the top corner. Steve Drench has no chance. It's against the run of play. It's really frustrating for Guiseley. And it's all to do now. And you know what? You've got to say, Hednesford, they let Guiseley get back into this game. They let them think that they were back into this game. And then just at the right moment, they throw 3 men forward. It's on the counter. It's a goal. And it's very clever tactics.
A little bit fortunate, if you ask me. But, guys, you haven't done enough to threaten that Hednesford goal. Dickinson plays the ball in field. It's cut out well by Bailey. The captain. Over the top. Finds Robinson. Robinson up against Danny Ellis. Ellis clips him. Robertson goes down. Ellis will go in the book. And he just tried to clip the ball. Robertson's not hurt. He's been ridiculous there, but Ellis is going to get in the book. And he's just frustrated because this is a chance now for Robinson just to take time to get up, to use up the clock, isn't it, really? But he got past Danny Ellis, and you know, Marvin Robertson was in a very good position at that point.
Yeah, and when I think if you're 2-0 up, that's how you react. If you're 2-0 down, you're straight back up, and yeah, it's just a little bit more time wasted, and again, it's getting that little bit closer to the 3 points for the Pitmen, but yeah, for guys, it really does feel like a missed opportunity, especially how other scores are going today.
Yep, it's been a big 45 minutes this, and still plenty of it to go, but there's a free kick here. Thorley whips it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, up towards Robertson. Good header from Danny Ellis. On a yellow card now, of course. Clearance goes up towards Liam Dickinson. Dickinson won't beat McCone for pace. McCone clears. Guiseley win the throw. Dickinson wanting to hurry things along. Trying to get the throw taken. There's another big goal in, as we were just saying. Barrow 1, Solihull Moors 3 now. Now Toulson into the area, flicked on by Dickinson. Nobody on the end of it. Boys was at the back post, not at the near. Now Lowe floats it in towards the back post where where Liam Dickinson rather is taking a position. Didn't mention that Nicky Boschel's actually come into the fray. It's replaced Gavin Rothery just after that goal. Guys, he now have to intercept once again. Danny Hall with a good tackle. Danny Boschel is just brushed past off the ball by Lloyd Kerry. The ball goes back to Stephen Drench. Drench to Danny Ellis. And then Todd chases him down and makes sure he gets a little bit on the goalkeeper before the ball's cleared. Now, guys, he will have a throw-in inside the Hednesford half. The ball picked up by Lowe. Ball comes out to the right-hand side. Picked up by Ryan Toulson. Toulson towards Brooksby. Brooksby tries to get past Bailey. Bailey does well. Sticks to his task. Guys, they need a very quick goal if they're going to get back in this game now, I would say. Brooksby cuts in field. Blasts it against the body of Thorley. Headed away by Hurst. Up in the air. Nicky Boschel wins the ball on the edge of the D. Chests it down towards Dickinson, but again, guys, he can't do anything in that territory. Helped on by Toulson down the right-hand side. He didn't get the connection he wanted, and so it's sort of gone rather tamely towards Walker, who heads it upfield, and Marvin Robinson wins the header, but Danny Ellis takes the ball off him at the second attempt. Now, Nicky Boschel. He's got options ahead of him in Dickinson if he can find him. Dickinson plays it into the body of Bailey. Guys, he still have the ball, though, with Brooksby. Brooksby, square to Nicky Boschel. Plays it square to Jake Lawler. He's slightly misfooted when he went to get the ball and can't play the final one. Guys, he's trying to play the ball all the way through. Now Diggin goes down, claiming a head injury. Guys, he go up the other end. Diggin's all right. He's just trying to take the time, I think, and he's up eventually, realising he's not going to get the stoppage he's hoping for. Headed away, picked up now by Danny Boschel. Boschel plays it down that left-hand side. Danny Lowe up against Hurst. Hurst wins that ball. Cleared by Thomas, the second goal scorer. And Guiseley now have a free kick or a throw-in. I'm not quite sure. Was that a free kick or a throw, Tom?
It looks like a free kick for a high boot, but just got to say, with Diggin there, he's holding his head. He's making sure the referee sees he's holding his head. Referee says...
Jake Lawler floats this in. Danny Ellis is up. It's a great save from the goalkeeper. And then Brooksby can't apply the finish. The closest the Lions have come this second half. Danny Ellis, he came forward. He did really well, actually, to evade the defence. Had avoided a tracking marker. Great save from Dan Crane, and then Brooksby, a difficult angle, couldn't keep the shot down, and it's over the bar and behind. I think that's it, really, isn't it? 2-0 down with 13 minutes to go. I just don't sense it. Don't sense it's coming.
I just feel it just feels like that now, where you've got to go for it. You lose the game 4-0 rather than 2-0, and you go for it because
going for it, but it isn't working, is it, Tom?
I mean, it's just been a case. There's been one or two times where a ball's been put in, and there's only two players in the area, and it's like 5-on-2 in the area. And when you're 2-0 down, you just hope that at least you can have it where it's even numbers, where it's 5-on-5, rather than being in a case where it really is. Boyes has got 3 people around him, and Dickinson's got 2. And Hednesford, they're more than happy now just to get the ball, get it forward, keep hold of it, and really frustrate Guiseley and the fans.
Walker on the ball now on the left-hand side, gets a cross into the area, claimed by Drench. A couple of other goals going on in the Vanarama Conference North, but Drench first plays this one long. Goes beyond Liam Dickinson. This game now hands really by a long thread for Guiseley. They're 2-0 down into the last sort of 12 minutes. Once again, Bailey winning the header. Danny Hall. And the pressure from Robertson goes all the way back to Stephen Drench. Chorley are now trailing 2-1 to Gloucester. Fylde have pulled a goal back, so it's Fylde 1, Harrogate 2. Lowestoft 2, Gainsborough Trinity 1. Nicky Boschel on the ball on the right-hand side. Plays it back straight to a Hednesford man. And it's Andy Todd. Takes the ball, gives it to Diggin. And then here comes that man, Adam Thomas again, who does really well down this right-hand side. Up against Danny Lowe.
Yep.
And, well, rather timely a free kick's been given, but there was a better call probably for a free kick just in the build-up to that play. And a free kick to Hednesford right by the corner flag. Makes it an effective corner. And I think we're going to have another substitute. And I think it's a Guiseley change we're going to see. If I can read it right, I've got Martin Stringfellow with the board there. Just waiting, I think, perhaps until this free kick's taken.
I think it'll be Alex Johnson to come on because he's got his kit on and he literally was going to come on now. The referee wouldn't allow that, so he's put his coat back on, and it looks like the moment this is taken, it goes out of play again. Johnson will be coming on.
I would think Matt Bauer doesn't want to disrupt the team before defending this free kick. Free kick, which is effectively a corner on the right-hand side. It's almost in the D. It's punched away by Stephen Drench, helped out by Nicky Boschel. Guiseley 2-0 down, 10 minutes to go. And Danny Ellis now under pressure, does well, heads the ball out. Ryan Tilson chests it down and then has to knock it into touch to prevent it going behind for a corner. And the substitution will be made. First of all, Alex Melbourne, who comes on for Steve Dickens, so the first switch for Hednesford. And the second switch for Guiseley is Alex Johnson coming on for Liam Dickinson. So Alex Melbourne, former Wolves Academy player, making way for the former Brackley man, Steve Dicken, who has played very well this afternoon. Yeah. Well, it's not Steve Dicken, is he? He's still on the pitch. So I just listened to the tannoy and he's got that one wrong, hasn't he? Because Steve Dicken's still there, isn't he?
It's weird that the number 10 was held up.
Oh, maybe they haven't made the switch yet. He's still there, Melbourne. So we're a little bit early. Meanwhile, while we work all that out, Brackley have got themselves into an offside position. It is going to be Steve Dicken for Alex Melbourne. It's just the substitute didn't happen just then. And in the end, guys, have a free kick. in right back position. Steve Diggin, he has had an excellent afternoon, hasn't he? He's a real threat, isn't he? He's a good player, and has been at the heart of that attacking line that has caused us so many problems.
Really good player, very good temperament as well, I've got to say, because one or two times you'd think he'd get frustrated that when he had the ball he was losing it, but what he was doing was he was helping his side out, and he was really putting a shift in. He was helping his team with defence. He's getting high fives off everyone on his bench, and quite rightly so, because there was a time during the second half where he beat two men and just whacked it forward. There was no one in this half for him to aim at, but what it did was it meant that Hednesford were then able to bring a couple of men forward and push their line up, so guys couldn't attack as easily. And yeah, he's really has put a shift in for his team today.
Well, Alex Johnson wins one header in his first touch. Guiseley have a throw now on the halfway line. Tilson goes long with it up towards Alex Johnson again, up against Bailey. Picked up now by Brooksby, second phase, but Guiseley don't have that much invention. They go down the right hand side now. Nicky Boschel gets it into the area, but not with any sort of pace on the ball, and Hednesford defend it well and now charge forward here. And it's that man, Thomas, again, who's coming forward with real purpose. Plays the ball out to the right hand side as Hednesford come forward now in numbers. Hurst joining in the attack. Plays it to the right hand side. The cross comes in, helped away by Hall. Boschel skips the ball past Hurst, but can't get it past Kerry. And the Harrogate loanee, who's making his Hednesford debut this afternoon, is again on the ball. A little spin on the ball and plays it into Hurst. Hurst is up against Lawler. Guiseley win the ball back. Danny Boschel into Wayne Brooksby. Boschel and Ellis. Ellis has a bit of a loose touch and Thorley's almost onto him. Ellis recovers well. Just goes to show that energy, that pace that Hednesford have had when they've been involving themselves with Guiseley's back line. Boschel now, Nicky Boschel gets on the ball, does well to win it. Plays it up towards Alex Johnson, but McCone just steps across, takes it away. And unfortunately, 7 minutes to go. It's looking like this game's up, actually. 2-0 down. Hednesford have stepped up a mark, and after Guiseley have had long spells of possession in the second half and made a few half chances. Hednesford now enjoying a lot more of the ball inside the Guiseley half in the recent passages of play, just when Guiseley desperately need it to be in the other half of the field. Now, Alex Johnson on the ball, gives it to Nicky Boschel, plays it out to the left-hand side. Danny Boschel's forward, bounces off his back, falls kindly for Hurst. And then away, Marvin Robinson up against Danny Hall. Danny Hall will win that race and sends it back to Stephen Drench.
Well, the problem is, since it's been 2-0, Guiseley haven't had a chance. And a lot of these long balls are just not working because there's no accuracy on them.
Now Alex Johnson's just spun past Ben Bailey, gets the ball towards the edge of the 18-yard box, couldn't get a shot away though, and then he's blocked and it's cleared. Boston United having an excellent afternoon, 4-0 up against Bradford Park Avenue. And in the other game, Oxford City are now 2-1 up against Lowestoft. I think Lowestoft had taken the lead in that match. So it's Oxford 2, Lowestoft 1. Boston in ominously good form before their game with us next Saturday. Mark Bauer will want to avenge that 5-1 defeat, but pressing matters are this 2-0 trail that we have at the moment. Ryan Tilson is hands apart at the moment on the right hand side, wondering why the ball's not coming to him. It's on the left hand side where there's an awful lot of Hednesford players. Lowe does get a cross in from that flank though, up towards Adam Boyd. He nods it down, it's headed away. Tilson picks it up, drills it back into the 6-yard box, blasts it towards the goal. Great effort from Tilson, good save from Dan Crane. And it's behind for a corner.
You've got to say that is an incredible reflex save by Crane there, because Tilson's about 4 yards out, it's going into the top corner, big hand on it, and
corner comes in, up towards the 6-yard box. McCone again with a header. Only as far here as Tilson. Floats it in towards the back post, up towards Danny Hall. It's headed away from him, it's going to be another Guiseley corner.
Well, it just feels like they've got to go for it right now. There's 5 minutes to go.
Corner from this right-hand side. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, well, if you don't get a goal now, you've not got enough time then, so you've just got to go for it. 4
minutes to go. 2-0. to Hednesford. Corner to Guiseley. Whipped up to the back post. Danny Ellis can't get on to the end of it. It's gone behind for another corner. Actually, to be fair, I thought Ellis might have got the last touch on it. This corner's taken short. Toulson shanks it up in the air, up towards Jake Lawler. He just chests it behind, and it's gone behind for a goal kick on this occasion. And that's a rather disappointing end to that set piece.
Again, it's taken short, and again, Toulson, it just bobbles in front of him. He hits it into the air, and Jake Lawler, it's hit his chest. He's trying to get his head onto it, he can't, and quite clearly a goal kick. And you're just thinking, will the referee eventually weird corner he gave about 40 minutes ago to Hednesford, but no, clearly a goal kick, and he gives it, and feels like that's it now, really. And Hednesford, a very productive day's work for them.
Very good header from Marvin Robertson in between two players. Sandwiched he was, but he still managed to win the header, and the ball's deep in Guiseley's half now as the attacking play from the Pitmen continues. Guiseley clear, goes up towards Alex Johnson. He claims he's been pulled back by McCone, but nothing's given. It's gone to the goalkeeper, Dan Crane, who takes his time, plays it upfield. Danny Ellis just needs to get ahead on it. Plays it to Ryan Toulson. The right back takes it down, looks ahead of him, plays the long one, intercepted by Thorley, picked up by Todd. Todd picks out Thomas. Thomas skips past Danny Ellis. He's going through on the left-hand side towards the 6-yard box, gets tackled by Hall, but still wins the ball back, drives it towards a goal, held by Steve Drench. Guiseley try to move upfield now. Drench to Brooksby. Brooksby, poor touch on the ball on the halfway line at the critical time, and it's back with Todd down the left hand side. Todd turns infield, holds it up, gives it to Thorley. Hednesford will just try and play the ball amongst themselves, I would think, take the sting out of this game. Glenn Walker lays it back here to Bailey, into the feet of Thorley to the right hand side. Just for the minute, actually, Hednesford looking in a very good shape to hold on to this ball. Hurst comes downfield, plays it into the direction of Alex Melbourne. Melbourne doesn't win that one. Good work here from Danny Boschel, but he's got nobody winning the ball off him. Actually, there's a worrying sign from Marvin Robertson. He's gone down. Hednesford still have the ball. They get it into the area. It's found Todd at the back post. He takes a touch, takes a shot, and it's straight at Steve Drench. At Marvin Robinson, still on the ground. Guiseley try to clear. Bailey will put it out. Guiseley have a throw. Robinson will get some attention.
Yeah, not too sure about this with Robinson, because it looked quite innocuous, but might be a bit of cramp, which I think it is now. Yeah, I think it's a bit of cramp for him. But yeah, for Guiseley, just they really very easily could have been 3-0 down. Good save by Drench, and it just feels, just with not that long to go now at all, and really feels like a disappointing day at the office when you look at what other sides have done around the table. And you can say, well, we got away with one in a way because the other sides have done that, but you can't keep saying that when they've got a 12-point advantage on you. You've got to start chipping away at that, and today we've missed out on a really good opportunity.
Yeah, how costly will this be? Guiseley 2-0 down. A matter of added time really now. Seconds and added time as the visitors make their second substitution. Nick Rushton replacing Robinson. Toulson into the box. Defended by Bailey again. He's been excellent this afternoon, the centre half. Brooksby takes the return pass from the throw. But Hednesford once again defend it. Brooksby wins the ball on this occasion. Guiseley keep trying to get past this Hednesford wall of defence, but with no joy. Wayne Brooksby now cuts in field towards the edge of the 18-yard box, lays it square, it's intercepted, picked up by Lawler, out to the right-hand side. Toulson into the area, headed away by McCone. There's a pattern to this, and Guiseley aren't getting a goal at the end of this pattern each time. Now the Lions will try and move forward, and they win a throw on the left-hand side. Too far from goal to be threatening. It's short here to Danny Hall. Guys, you just need to throw this into the box really and stick it in the mixer a little bit, because time is ticking. It'd be remarkable to get something back, but at least a goal back on the sheet would give us something to cheer. The cross comes in from Toulson. It's defended. Takes a deflection off. I think that sort of sums it up today. Takes a deflection off Bailey and still manages to find its way through to Rushton, the substitute, and eventually Guiseley have to settle for a throw-in. And Toulson should perhaps go long. He actually goes short here to Danny Ellis, who crosses. Again, the cross doesn't find a white shirt, it finds a blue. The counter-attack is on for Hednesford, but Stephen Drench is acting up as a high-up sweeper. Danny Ellis goes back to Drench, and Drench needs to hoof this forward. He does. Up towards the edge of the D, but again, there's nobody in the area of the edge of the D that Drench is aiming for. And Boys now lays it into the feet of Danny Boschel. Boschel in towards the edge of the D. Jake Lawler tries to flick it over. He can't. And Guiseley again are unable to penetrate that Hednesford back line. Drench now sweeping again. Plays the ball long up towards Nicky Boschel, but he doesn't even attempt for that one because it's beyond him. Bailey recovers it, and it's away, and it's all a little bit forlorn now for the Lions as we enter into the final seconds. Long one from Lowe, up towards Boschel. Even going forward, you don't really feel that it's going to happen. And Lowe with a throw in front of the visitors' dugout. Perhaps give Guiseley one last chance to get the consolation. Into the penalty area, hoofed away by Walker. Low, cross towards the back post. Danny Boschel's ghosted up there. He can't keep it in play though, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, Hednesford will be, more than happy with how today's gone for them, because it's been a case that when the balls have been going in, they've had so many men in the area, they've been able to defend it quite easily, and for Guiseley, it really just feels like, well, that's it now. It's game over, and it's such a crucial game, such a crucial week, as well as the game on Tuesday as well. And to get 3 points out of 6 is disappointing for Guiseley, because the aim would have been to get 6. We haven't, and Hednesford will be the team going home happy.
Well, how expensive a defeat will that be at the end of the season? That was a disappointing first half performance, and one in the second that just knocked at the door but couldn't really break down Hednesford, and they capitalised on the counter-attack with an excellent strike from Adam Thomas after Liam Dickinson had given them the lead in the first half with an own goal on 27 minutes. In fairness, I think the visitors deserve the victory, and Guiseley will be bitterly disappointed on a day when teams around us at the top of the table have also lost. It's finished here. Guiseley 0, Hednesford 2.
Yeah, you've got to give full credit to Hednesford. They deserved the victory in the end, and that's what makes it so disappointing, is the fact that opening 45 minutes, we just weren't good enough. And the second half, we did improve, we changed our play a little bit, and we had a couple of half chances rather than a real chance. But the moment that second goal went in, that was it, game over, and we didn't have a chance from that point on. For Hednesford, Mark Bauer's never beaten them still, and they've got tactics that clearly work.
Well, it's been a tough day at the office, there's no doubt about that. Let's just quickly go down the scores in the Vanarama Conference North. Barrow 1, Solihull Moors 3. Boston United 5, and this hasn't finished yet. Boston United 5, Bradford Park Avenue 0. Colwyn Bay 0, Worcester City 2. AFC Fylde 1, Harrogate Town 2. Guiseley 0, Hednesford 2. Leamington 2, Gainsborough 1, still not finished there either. North Ferriby 0, Tamworth 0. Oxford City 2, Lowestoft 1, Stalybridge Celtic 1, Brackley 5, Stockport 2, Hyde 0, Chorley 1, Gloucester 2. So what does that mean in terms of the standings? Well, for the Lions this afternoon, it's not good news. It's not been a good picture for us. That's certainly true to say. And at the end, it means that Barrow still top, 60 points from 30. Fylde, 58 from 28. Tamworth are in third now, 53 from 31. Hednesford, they go up 2 places into fourth. They have 50 from 30 games played. Guiseley slipped to fifth, 48 points from 27. And then just below them, Boston United are also really catching us up, although we have 3 games in hand on them, with that 5-0 thumping of Bradford Park Avenue, 48 from 30, even catching up the goal difference on us, aren't they? And then Chorley slipped 2 because they lost 2-1 at home to Gloucester City, 47 from 26. At the other end, Just a quick note, Hyde lost again today, 12 points from 30. Bradford Park Avenue, 23 from 24. Then they're up a week on Tuesday here at Nethermore. Colwyn Bay, 28 from 30. And then Stalybridge, 29 from 30. Gainsborough also slipped down a place today, 31 from 29. I'm afraid we haven't been able to bring you any joy this afternoon. It's finished here. Guiseley 0, Hednesford 2. We'll be back for next week's game against Boston United. See you then.